Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show right here on Woodward Sports, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. But before we get into all the sports talk, we have to say happy birthday to our graphics guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Slanik. He is the absolute man. He's got to edit out all of Adam's cussing all the time. We love you, Justin, and we appreciate you. But we have to get into the Pistons from last night. They lose 121 to 116 to the Lakers. Cade Cunningham gets his first ever triple-double in the NBA. But all of that seemed to be overshadowed by LeBron James and Beef Stew getting ejected from the game. LeBron elbowed Stewart in the face. And yes, I think it was intentional. I don't care what they say. It was intentional. When you see the replay, you see this man purposely slamming him straight in the face. There was lots of blood drawn, and Stewart ended up running after LeBron multiple times, about to actually murder him. But Jeff, your thoughts on everything that happened last night?
Aside from the elephant in the room, which I will be discussing, Cade Cunningham obviously becoming the youngest player, 20 years, 57 days, which in Pistons history, the youngest player ever to record a triple-double, 8th youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double, joining guys like LaMelo Ball, Luka Doncic, Lonzo Ball, LeBron James, that category. So good for Cade Cunningham in that aspect. But just want to talk about the game quickly, because me and Adam are going to talk about this elephant in the room with Isaiah and the situation with LeBron. But just the Pistons in general got off to a hot start early. Jerami Grant was looking like the second coming of Michael Jordan. So, the Pistons always find a way to play the Lakers good. So it was a great game to watch. Really, I was shocked, because considering the fact that how well they've been playing up until the Isaiah Stewart incident, how well Isaiah Stewart was playing against guys like Anthony Davis, had a nice block on him, and then, of course, the situation, LeBron.
Just call it what it is.
Listen, basically backhanded. It looked like it.
That was a full punch.
It looked like an attempt elbow and just clipped him with his knuckles. I don't know what it was. Made him bleed from his lips, his eyes.
I love you. What were you watching? It was clear Beef Stew had, he was
they were getting
trying to
physical.
get leverage.
Yep.
All right. LeBron looks, makes eye contact with the dude, and lashes out. I don't want to hear it was unintentional or that it was. No, that was a full-blown, I'm going to sock you in the face. And he did. And LeBron's a bitch. Look, we all know this. We've seen this for 18 years now. Do you guys want me to change your minds?
No. Well,
this guy's been a bitch since the day he stepped into the court in the NBA. It's that simple. Cleveland, Miami,
but that's
Cleveland.
That's new though. You can't just sit here and say it was obviously intentional.
I would have paid I would have refinanced my house and paid a significant amount of money to watch Isaiah Stewart get his hands on LeBron James.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
You want to talk about pay-per-view? God, give me 10 seconds with Beef Stew's hands all over LeBron. That was such a bullshit cheap shot. Like, you can't. Look at this. That was not even an elbow. That was a closed fist. I'm going to get you. My goodness. Whatever they give Beef Stew, it better be double for LeBron. That's all I know. If you're going to give Stew 5 games, you're giving LeBron 10. You're giving Beef Stew 10, but you're giving LeBron 20. I don't care.
But the fact of the matter is, Isaiah Stewart was the one that didn't leave the court in a timely manner. I do get what you're saying, but the guy did come back 3 times and try to get that beef, which I applaud Isaiah. Come back and settle that beef.
How would you like it if I punched you in the face?
Okay, well, obviously, I would not like it.
Corey, call in. 313-552-6322. Fish, please get Corey on the line, please and thank you. But continue, Jeff.
No, but the fact of the matter is, I understand, and Isaiah Stewart, rightfully so, should be ticked off. Obviously, charging after LeBron, I don't think he cared who it was. LeBron, AD, DeAndre Jordan, he wanted to fight the entire Lakers team. That was the fact of the matter. But LeBron taking that shot, it was obviously a frustration shot. I don't think he intentionally tried to punch him in the face, but that's what happened. And you got to deal with the consequences. Made Isaiah Stewart bloody. And the fact of the matter, he wanted that smoke with LeBron. And you know what? I got to give Cade Cunningham credit for blocking this man and keeping him away, because at the end, when he charged back that third time, it looked like it was over. If you were in that arena, it looked like Isaiah was getting his hands on some Lakers players, and thankfully so, all those assistant coaches and the employees of the Detroit Pistons kept him away, and that's what you have to do in those situations. Like, this is look at him. Oh, yep, I'm all good. Yep, we're just going to keep walking here. Psych! I'm out. Give me that. Yeah, look at it. He's rushing the passer better than the Lions. Look at him. He's getting after him.
Look, there's not any fathomable reason watching this that you can convince me that LeBron is just not the biggest bitch in the NBA. I mean, this is proven. This is not a hypothesis. This isn't something out of the ordinary. LeBron is a confirmed bitch, and that's what he does. Corey's asking you to. Oh, does he want a VMix in, or does he want to call in? Corey, 313. Type it in the chat. 313-552-6322 if you want to call into the show. Yeah, look, guys, I want your takes in the chat. Like, kind of walk me through what you thought. It was clear LeBron. It was an intentional blow. There's no doubts about it. The media, national media, was so quick to like, why'd he get so mad at LeBron? He didn't do anything. Like, oh my goodness! Like, this is the same narrative that we dealt with in the '90s and now the early 2000s. It's unbelievable how biased people can be towards LeBron James. And I'm like one of his guys where like I think he's like one of the best to ever do it. I'll easily give him top 4, top 5 for sure. But having said that, bro, you are such a bitch. Oh my goodness. Like that, I really was waiting for somebody to throw a drink and just re-escalate Malice of the Palace all over again. I was waiting for it.
Well, our guy Alex Westfall was there, and he said that they were over the announcers saying, if you throw a drink or if you try and get involved, there are cameras everywhere and you will go to jail.
Okay.
So.
Wow, I threw a drink. What are you going to give me, a $1,000 fine and a night in jail?
I don't want a night in jail.
I could witness LeBron James be murdered. The hell? I'm taking one for the team here. Listen, everybody that was at LCA, I'm surprised nobody threw something at LeBron. Like, escalate it.
You know what I want to know,
Come
too?
on, what are we doing here? This is sports entertainment, not keep the peace. I mean, let's be honest here. I was waiting for somebody to take action, take charge, and stand up and say, you know what? I'm spending the night in jail today because I want to see this guy kill this guy. What's the problem with that? What kind of country we live in if you can't do this?
It's a valid point. But you know what? The Pistons in general, like, this is why they're such a fun team to watch. And this applies to the Red Wings as well. Like, even in a loss to the Lakers, something happens in the game where you must be there. And people who are there obviously talking about the do not throw a drink, because they knew. Like, the fact of the matter, we got LeBron James, who in Detroit especially, people are going to go crazy, get loud. A lot of Lakers fans were there, obviously, but Detroit, it was Detroit versus everybody.
All right, Corey.
It was.
Corey's calling into the show right now. Corey, what do you got, buddy?
Man, come on. That was the lowest move, the lowest cheap shot that I've ever seen in the past couple of years in the NBA. First off, it's not the fact that LeBron elbowed him, because LeBron didn't elbow him. If he elbowed him, I would be like, Steve, come on,
no, he punched him.
It's messed up. It was a backhand hammer fist to the eye.
You see that in MMA, man, not in basketball.
It was such a cheap shot. And then the biggest punk move of all is, first off, look at what these two did. When he got hit, he went over to LeBron real punk.
Corey, could I ask you to do me a favor? Could you take off your AirPods? That Bluetooth is like messing with your connection.
Okay, hold on.
But Corey, while you switch over, I think one of the the low key things that maybe went unnoticed in last night's mini brawl was nobody saw what Russell. You guys all have that one friend, right? Like, you go to the bar, you go to the club, and things are about to escalate. And there's the 3-4 guys in your group that are like, you know what, I'm down, let's go. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. And then there's that one guy in the back, that one friend that just like throws his fist up and is like, he's ready, but he's not. He's just in the back, like, finding every reason not to get involved. And that was Russell Westbrook last night. It was the funniest thing. Corey, what'd you make of it?
I thought Russell Westbrook didn't want to let that smoke. He was just trying to make good for the cameras like some of the other Lakers were. I mean, come on. It was such a cheap shot. And then, out of all of that stuff, the AD and Russ are in the huddle talking in the third quarter, talking about this is the defining moment of their season. Great, you guys have 3, 4, 5 Hall of Famers in your team, and the defining moment of your season is beating a 4-win team.
Bro,
a lot of you thinking guys.
LeBron
man,
backhanded
Corey,
somebody.
I love that. I love this comment in the chat, Corey. I think you're gonna love it too. Russell Westbrook looked like the Notre Dame mascot. Oh man, it was great, man. It was great, Corey. What time are you gonna be in today?
I am actually about to hop on the road right now from Cleveland and heading back to the D.
Awesome. All right, well, we want to get you on tomorrow to recap the game. I know you're in Cleveland. So much to talk about. Right now, Corey, you can't see it, but on the screen we have Russell Westbrook side by side with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It is the funniest thing ever. We need to get this.
up.
We need to post this. But Corey, thank you so much.
And real quick before I hop off, the one thing that made LeBron even more of a sucker was he declined his media availability.
Oh,
last
of course
night.
he did.
Right.
What was he going to do? Like, go out publicly and admit, yeah, you know what, I got frustrated, so I closed my fist and I took out my anger on a 20-year-old. Very well done, LeBron. I'm sure I'm sure Michael Jordan was closing his fist and going after 19, 20-year-olds later on in his career when he was with Washington. Unbelievable. All right, Corey, thank you so much for calling in. Everybody in the chat, feel free to call in at any time throughout the show if you have something to say. You can talk to Fish, and if it's something related to what we're talking about, we'd love to chat with you about it. Having said that, Kennedy, we got to go to break, don't we?
We do have to go to break, which means we get to hear about our friends over at Northwestern Tech.
Well, listen, Northwestern Tech, no scrapping over at Northwestern Tech. They provide great opportunities for you and whoever you know to start a new career in an industry that is always essential. It's the heating and cooling industry. You can learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Did you know mortgage rates are still at generational lows? If you haven't refinanced your home loan yet, there's still time. Now is your second chance to refinance. You could lower your monthly payment, eliminate credit card debt, or even take cash out by using your home's equity. Call Hall Financial now to get started with your free 5-minute mortgage review. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. All right, the Detroit Lions obviously still struggling. They now have loss number 9 in the books after what I consider a boring game, losing 13-10 to the Cleveland Browns, as the Lions do. Multiple opportunities to come back and win in the fourth that they choke away. They looked god-awful, but honestly, so did the Browns outside of Nick Chubb, so it was like one of the most boring games I've ever seen in my entire life. Tim Boyle taking over for Goff. He's clearly not the answer that we wanted. He is no TB12. Tom Brady, I apologize for ever saying that. He only had 77 yards and a pair of interceptions. So, boys, your thoughts on the offense yesterday?
It's god-awful. Look, it's a Monday after a loss. Drive-in today, I was really trying to think, like, what can I offer Detroit Lions fans on a Monday morning, 0-9-1, heading into Thanksgiving? It's a short week, backup quarterback in, tough weather conditions. What do I make of a Sunday performance that's this awful? And then I thought, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and I'm going to watch the play calling. I'm going to forget the outcome. How did the play calling factor into the game? And then I saw, 3rd and 10, draw. Oh, okay. I saw it once. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. DeAndre Swift, maybe he gets you in a better position. He didn't. Oh, well, move on. And then he does it again, and again, and again, and again. And it was screen, 1 yard pass, screen, 1 yard, 3 yard pass, 5 yard pass, take a shot downfield, nothing, 3 and out. DeAndre Swift, you're the best. You take it to the house. You keep us in the game. God bless you, buddy. And that was the most difficult game to watch so far of the year. And, a lot of people talk about, Nick Sirianni, Urban Meyer, all these rookie coaches now coming into the league. I mean, Nick Sirianni is what now? 5-6 with the Eagles. They've won 3 of their last 4. Their offense outside of Jalen Hurts is what? Devontae Smith. Limited at backfield. Their defense is starting to look real good, but still.
Darius Slay looks.
I know, Kennedy. I know Darius.
We have to.
You have to.
3
not
touchdowns
we.
in the last 4 games.
This is an AB conversation. You know the rest.
See my way out. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Love you, Darius Slay. Miss you, baby.
Regardless, look, I think Dan Campbell should not be calling plays. How about that? That's one of the takeaways from yesterday. Dude, you have no idea what you're doing. I talked about it before the season started, and over your head a little bit. It didn't seem right. You're sitting 0-9-1. I don't care who you are. You couldn't have predicted it being this bad. And I was on the train of this is a 3 to 4 win team. They're lucky to even get one at this point. And on 3rd and 14, you run a draw play, and then you settle for 3 instead of. Where is the aggressive Dan Campbell now that you're actually in games? We talked about this earlier on in the year, and my goodness, I couldn't have been more right on this. And it's shaping out to be that way. Earlier on in the year, you're down by 20, 30, you're going for it on 4th and 1 at your own 25, everybody's in love. Dan Campbell's aggressive. He's aggressive, Adam. No, it's easy to be aggressive when you have nothing to play for. How about in close games when it actually matters? How about you show me how aggressive you're going to be? And he showed me everything I needed to see. 3rd and 14, we're running a draw. And then we're going to take 3 because we're not confident we can get a 4th and 1. All right. Hell of a job, man. Anthony Lynn, I don't even know why people were so inspired by the hiring to begin with. He spent 1 year as an offensive coordinator in Buffalo. They were, middle of the pack? They weren't great. There was nothing there where you're like, oh my goodness, that's the next young bright mind in the NFL. Goes to the Chargers. They look inept. He gets fired. And now he's in Detroit, and he just lost his play calling duties. Dan Campbell doesn't look like he can game plan and scheme or call plays. This is a disaster, Jeff. It's a disaster. It really is.
Yeah, disaster's an interesting word. I mean, defense.
Is it interesting or is it correct?
I mean, it's starting to look that way, and I hate admitting it, but at the end of the day,
how do the kneecaps taste?
They taste pretty
Somebody
good.
needs to ask Dan Campbell. Corey, God damn it, Corey.
But
listen, I'm going to talk to Corey after the show. He's got to ask Dan Campbell, how do the kneecaps taste so far this season? Sure as hell aren't anywhere near the kneecaps. Because right now you're just at the freaking, the heel, right below the foot.
Yeah.
You're right under it. That's where you are.
You're chewing on skin right now. There ain't no kneecaps. And let me start with the positive, because you did cover a lot of the true negative, the facts. But the defense yesterday, they played their absolute tail off, and we got to witness that over the last couple weeks. That's been a constant trend with this team. And Aaron Glenn has done a significant job this year just getting the most out of what he has. And we talk about Anthony Lynn and how that applies to the offensive side of the ball. It doesn't look that way at all. And the Cleveland Browns walked away from that game not very proud of even their performance in a game where really the Lions costed them horrendous, costly penalties. It's not the penalties it's not necessarily the penalties. It's when the Lions get these penalties, and they're horrendously costly for the Lions. And even the Browns were worst yesterday in that area. They had 10 penalties. You finally got to see Tim Boyle. So finally, Lions fans, we can get this out there. We talk about what he did at college. I mean, the stats are out there and how bad that was.
You mean nothing.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrendous. And then now coming into yesterday, everyone's excited for him to start. I get that. It's something different. But you saw what he was. It's a guy who, it's first NFL start. Yes, he played behind Aaron Rodgers, but still a lot of rust to him. He's going to get better, obviously, the more he starts. But it's looking like he's starting for Thanksgiving. I'll be there. I'll be at Ford Field for Thanksgiving against the Bears, and it's looking like it's going to be an Andy Dalton versus a Tim Boyle Thanksgiving game, which cannot wait for that. So excited. And but the fact of the matter is this offense has been just so bad this year. And even with Jared Goff, without Jared Goff, Tyrell Williams, Quintez Cephas, even without them, it's bad. The only playmaker on this offense that I could is obviously T.J. Hockenson, but it's DeAndre Swift because he doesn't need the quarterback. T.J. Hockenson has to rely on Tim Boyle to get him the ball. DeAndre Swift just has to get the ball and go. And you've seen that and what he's been able to do. Multiple, 50-yard run yesterday. The Rams, another break-off run. This guy, all he does is get money plays, and that's what the Lions are really relying on. And this year, I knew it would be a bad year for the Lions. I think we all had that, but I didn't think it'd be this bad, offensively at least. Defensively, you're seeing a lot of flashes, but this is below even my expectations. And Anthony Lynn, I've already seen reports. The Jared Goff-Anthony Lynn relationship is not working. We could talk about what we've seen on offense all we want, but Anthony Lynn and Jared Goff, just strictly that relationship is not working. And now Tim Boyle, it's not working with anybody. Now you got Dan Campbell calling plays, which, like to your point, I mean, it's not a great thing to see, especially on Sundays. You get to witness this. It's a screen, give it to him through the gut, and then another screen, and then you saw Tim Boyle air it out finally to Josh Reynolds, which everybody wanted to see, and then it was intercepted. Like, this is why they can't push the ball downfield.
You know what's funny? Dan Campbell in the press conference sat up there and said, you know what, like, you have to understand Cleveland had a really good defensive line. They have a really good defensive line, number 95, Myles Garrett, number 90 on the opposite side of him, and they have a good interior. And then he follows that statement up with, well, I thought our O-line did really good. And then he followed that up by saying, you know what, like, I felt like we needed to put Boyle in positions where he could be successful. Mm-hmm. And 3rd and 14, the late downs, that wasn't something I was like, okay, that makes sense. Well, what the hell were you doing for the rest of the game? It was constant screen call, 2-yard dump, 3-yard underneath route, 4-yard out to Hawkinson, 1 yard out to St. Brown, run the ball, get stuffed, 3rd and 14, run the ball, 3rd and 10, run the ball, 3rd and 8, run the ball, 3rd and 9, run the ball. Everybody knew in Cleveland that was at the game that you were going to run the ball. Why? Joe Flacco and a god-awful New York Jets offense still find a way to throw for 100 yards, let alone 2. And you're sitting there at 77? The play calling, but you want to call it conservative? It was just awful. This dude has no idea how the NFL... He ran the ball on 3rd and 1 with a fullback, as if he has some system placed like the San Francisco 49ers do, where they actually use their fullback. That was the first time I've seen this guy touch the ball all year, maybe outside of the week 1 against San Francisco. And they had the nerve to run a fullback dive on 3rd and 1 instead of giving it to the playmaking running back that you've had all game. Yeah. Or maybe you run a play-action boot and dump it off for an easy first down. My goodness, what the hell? It's just really bad. And I don't know what to tell you guys on a Monday morning. I really don't. This is a project. It's a rebuild. Believe me, I knew what it was going into the year. But God damn it, can anybody outside of Aaron Glenn give me something to work with here? Because this guy is out-coaching the hell out of half the league, especially everyone in Detroit right now. Aaron Glenn is making you rethink. Maybe we need to draft offensive pieces. No, like we actually need help on defense. And this dude is overcompensating with his quality coaching, and then we're stuck with Dan Campbell and Anthony Lynn on the offensive side of the ball. It is unbelievable. Kennedy, what were you going to ask?
I just wanted to say, can we take a second for the commentators yesterday? It was so funny. It was horrible, honestly, but it was like to the point where it was really funny. They were like, Tim Boyle, he's got an absolute cannon on him. And they're like, oh, never mind. It's looking more like a water gun. And I was just losing my mind because he underthrew.
Look, I got to give a break to commentators, color commentators. One of the most difficult things to do is to prepare for a game when there's the backup quarterback, a guy with 0 film outside of college. Like, what exactly can I? How do I describe this player?
What are people saying?
So yeah.
Well, it wasn't. Jeff knows it wasn't his college stats that were making them think, "Oh, this guy's got a cannon on him."
But that was the narrative coming in, though.
I guess it was his footage from like his I don't even know what you call it, like walk-on tryout for the Packers.
He's more known for wrestling with Aaron Rodgers than anything to do with his football IQ.
Yeah.
This is true. I just want to know real quickly, when's the last time the Lions had back-to-back games with under 100 yards passing? That's my, especially with Matthew Stafford for so long. That's my question.
I'm just going to be very blunt with you guys. This is the 6th time. 6th. How many games have we played? 10?
Getting shut out in halves, man. It's getting very old.
That's the 6th time you've been shut out in a half. Yeah. Don't even make me count the amount of scoreless quarters you've had. And then, if we just didn't start the game so bad in the first half, we would have won the game. I'm so tired of this. This isn't week 3, guys, where you can go back and say, you know what? I can build on this. You know what? Moving forward, we're going to make it an emphasis that we are going to get points in the first half, regardless of how difficult the game may be.
Right.
We're going to find a way to get points. And you still can't. We're 10 weeks in. Hey, Adam, take it easy on Glenn. He's here to help our draft picks, man. What do you mean? I love Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, we love Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, no,
fine.
Aaron Glenn's getting a lot of praise today. He is out-coaching the hell out of... I'm telling you, like, this dude is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about Anthony Lynn losing his play-calling rights. Dan Campbell should lose his head coaching rights and just give it to Aaron Glenn.
Oh, God.
I'm being so serious. Aaron Glenn should just take over being the head coach. I bet you any money you win on Thursday. Go ahead, Dan Campbell. You want to experiment? Experiment with Aaron Glenn. Give him the week. Give him a short week. I promise you the team will be more prepared and more successful with him as head coach.
I listen, I don't get this, number one, either. Like, okay, you don't like Anthony Lynn calling plays. You want someone else to call him. Why not ask Deuce Staley? Give Deuce Staley a shot at calling plays. That would be... anything would be better.
I do not want to put... I put too much money in the swear jar already. He's a effing running backs coach.
Listen,
excuse me? When the hell has he ever put together an offensive scheme, a game plan? When has he sat down with the quarterback and say, hey, how can we get you really comfortable? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to script this drive. We're going to go for a 60-40 balance.
Okay.
We want to throw the ball 60%. We want to run the ball 40%. We want to set ourselves in the X position. Who the hell is Deuce Staley? Are you kidding me?
So you're telling me, okay, I get your point of view. You're saying he's not qualified. I don't know if Deuce Staley.
The hell he is?
No, listen, Dan Campbell's calling plays right now. So is he qualified?
None of them are qualified. That's the problem.
Okay, it does not. Listen, anything
so
better.
So now we're just going to give everybody a shot.
So no,
send Fish to Ford Field and let him call the plays.
Anthony Lynn's qualified. What are you getting out of him?
Anthony Lynn is garbage.
He's a offensive. That's a guy who knows how to script plays. Use a 60-40. Yeah, this is what you're talking about. He knows how to do all this.
Don't put words in my mouth.
This is Anthony Lynn.
Don't do
Anthony
that,
Lynn
Jeff.
is that guy you're describing, and he can't.
It's Monday morning.
Deuce Staley, let the man call play. It's better than anything.
Try to make your point without putting words in my mouth, please. Do me a favor.
No, didn't you just say Deuce Staley doesn't know how to do this? He doesn't.
Okay, he has
Anthony Lynn does.
Anthony Lynn,
he does. He has
Anthony
experience.
Lynn does have experience, and he's doing an awful job of it. How the hell does that have to do with Deuce Staley?
I'm out at this point. I'm willing to give.
So send Fish to Allen Park and have him do it.
Might be better. It might be a better product. It might be a better product. That's why listen. If Dan Campbell's calling plays, no reason why Deuce Staley can't.
I don't know where this Deuce Staley narrative is coming from. I really don't.
I'm okay with it.
I really don't.
I think everyone's just at the point of let's just find out.
I mean, when you're 0-9-1, maybe it is effort at this point, I guess.
It is.
I mean, look,
it 100% is.
Well, this isn't going to be the week. This isn't going to be the week to give Deuce Staley his chance because it's a short week. But maybe next week. Who knows?
No, I'm saying it probably should have been the very first thing. Like instead of Dan saying, "I'll take over the play calling." Like
Dan's not going back. You have to understand that.
Now it's too late. It's too late now.
Even moving forward, Dan Campbell will not relinquish his play calling rights, especially to Deuce Staley. Like, there's no going back for him now.
No, right.
You don't make a decision like that and then fall back. Hey, Anthony, can you take over, man? It's not working out for me. Hey, man, I was too conservative. Hey, man, all I hear in those conferences, hey, man, you know what, man? Hey, man, listen, man, you know, just got to be better. Can't commit penalties, man. You know, I feel like we're there, man. We're almost there, man. We're close. My goodness, my ears this morning listening to the press conference. Jesus Christ, Kennedy.
All right, we have to go to break, which means we get to hear about our friends over at MyBookie. When we come back, we will talk about a team that did win, the Michigan Wolverines. But first, MyBookie.
Speaking of the Michigan Wolverines, a great bet. I believe Michigan were 20.5-point favorites this weekend against Maryland. It was a great bet. Guys, MyBookie, bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. No geolocation restrictions. You live in Florida, you want to bet in Michigan, Colorado, doesn't matter. MyBookie lets you bet anywhere. I absolutely love the freedom it gives me. Sign up today using code Woodward, and they'll match you dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $100. You put in $200, they'll give you $200. And there's no better time to sign up than this week, because we all know something special is happening this Saturday in Ann Arbor. There's a special 10-1 matchup between two of the best teams in the country. Couldn't be more excited. Fish, this is not the read to do that. Having said that, MyBookie, everybody, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-270-7117.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
It's Adam, Jeff, and Kennedy. Mornings on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Now time to talk about the team that will be defeated by the Ohio State Buckeyes this weekend.
It's
Michigan.
way too early. Look, man. Look, Kennedy. I don't mind the trash talk.
I came so prepared.
I know. Go on the bottom line and do this.
Oh, okay.
You should go on the bottom line and talk your game.
Okay.
Because there's two slappies up there. Michigan Wolverine slappies.
I can't wait.
This is. Are you a Michigan fan?
No.
State fan?
I'm just neutral. I just
judge
them for what they
college?
are. I judge them for what they are.
Did you not go to college?
No.
Oh.
Well, I went to college, but not those colleges. No.
Okay, so you don't have an allegiance.
I don't have an affiliation with Michigan State or Michigan. So
yeah,
no.
so like talking, this is not gonna do anything for us.
It's just
You're not
me.
going to rile us up.
Okay.
So,
I wasn't trying to.
continue.
It's the chat.
I know.
The chat will come for me. It's fine. All right, number 8, Michigan hands Maryland a 59-18 defeat on senior day at Capital One Field. Michigan just all around looking stronger, faster, better. We got to see J.J. McCarthy this game because, once again, Cade McNamara was throwing the ball at his teammates' helmets. McCarthy was able to get a drive going, getting a touchdown, checked back in later in the game to return a botched snap into a QB run for a touchdown. That was my favorite thing that happened during the game. So there you have it. But, boys, your thoughts on the game, and also, of course, Adam, I need to get your thoughts on the Cade McNamara, J.J. McCarthy.
You guys know how I feel about this. I think J.J.'s the better quarterback. I think he gives them the most, upside going forward. But that's not the way Michigan are going to play. And, I'm curious to see how it plays out on Saturday. I'm going to be at the game. And I'm going to be there. You're basically front row, observing how they handle Ohio State. And before we get into Ohio State, because that's the real conversation this week is Michigan, Ohio State. Nobody wants to hear anything but that. But they handled business against Maryland. They ran all over them. Defense looked pretty solid. The edge rushers, Ojabo and Hutchinson, although if you look at the box score and you say, well, they didn't get anything, they were putting...
Yeah, they're all over the place.
They were putting Tagovailoa under a lot of duress. They were making the plays without the numbers. They were putting the pass pressures. It was a very good performance by Michigan. The kind of confidence you want to take with you going into the biggest game in the last, 15, 20 years for Michigan. It is unbelievable. There's a Big Ten title game appearance at stake, and there's a potential college football game appearance at stake. And I really am curious to see how they prep for Ohio State. C.J. Stroud, we'll get to him a little later. He had his coming out party. I mean, if anybody has put a stamp on a Heisman outside of Kenneth Walker this year, it was C.J. Stroud over the weekend. But back to Michigan. They look good. I like J.J. McCarthy. Came in, orchestrated a good drive, good touch throw in the corner of the red zone, in the end zone. Great catch, one-handed grab by the Michigan wide receiver. It was a good game. It was a good game for Michigan. I think that's what you need going into, again, I think the biggest game of the week, Jeff. So regarding Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy, Kennedy, you guys know exactly how I feel. I think J.J. gives them the it factor. I think he takes them to that next level. And I think Cade can only do what he gave you against Maryland. It's very simple. It's going to be effective underneath route throwing. Let's make our guys beat your guys. And one-on-one situations. He was 21 for 28, 258, and 2 touchdowns. Okay? That's great. That's good. I've seen one kid be able to drive the football downfield, the other throw underneath routes that explode for big plays. I mean, that's the story of the year. And they're going to roll with Cade McNamara. There's no problem with that. But I think Michigan fans should be more concerned with, let's be honest, how Michigan State got drubbed by Ohio State. Ohio State are one of the best teams in the country. And my goodness, who would have thought they'd be peaking at the right time? What a shock, right, guys? What a shocker.
And I just want to start out by saying this. Kudos to Jim Harbaugh. Finally forgetting, get the job done. We said that last week. You come out 59-18, decisive victory. Cade McNamara looks how we expect him to look against subpar opponents, and he obviously the 250 yards you could talk about. JJ McCarthy coming in making plays with his legs, with his arm, moving the ball downfield, and obviously shutting Maryland out in the first quarter. Played a great game defensively, took advantage of a poor secondary. Cade did, and I love the fact that we got to see JJ McCarthy. Didn't see him really over the last couple weeks. Got to come in, make plays. I'm expecting to see him situationally against Ohio State. I think he brings a new spark to this offense at times, and especially if Cade begins to stall out, because we talk about this all the time. It's not about last week. It's not about beating Maryland. It's about next week. It's about Ohio State, and you saw what Ohio State did to Michigan State, which we'll discuss that in a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, how does this defense play next week? That's the big picture, because offensively, you're going to need to be solid. You're going to need Blake Corum back. We understand that, because as much as I love Hassan Haskins, 20 for 78 yards, obviously the 2 scores, but Ohio State, you're going to need more than that. If anything, if you go down early, it's going to be hard to run the ball. So it's going to end up falling in the hands of Cade McNamara, and I don't think Cade McNamara is going to throw you to victory in a shootout, especially if Ohio State scores early like they did against Michigan State. It's going to be tough for this team. So Mike McDonald's got his hands full next week, and that's really the big matchup, is how do they play defensively against Ohio State, because what they call Ohio State's wide receivers, Earth, Wind, and Fire, for various reasons. 3 different guys who are probably going to all be first round, if not early second round picks, and they're going to have to play shutdown red zone defense, Michigan, and they're going to have to get after C.J. Stroud and disrupt him, because Michigan State couldn't do either. They couldn't get after the quarterback. Their secondary didn't play that well. So it really comes down to the fact of, what does this defense look like next week? And I think, and I've said this multiple times, we had Brandon Brown on the show. We talked to him. I told him, you guys have probably the best chance to beat Ohio State just because of what you guys have defensively, pass rush, and your secondary at least benefits from your pass rush. And next week, it's the big game. Jim Harbaugh, I'll give him his flowers for the win against Maryland, but next week is the big game, and I know we're going to come out with predictions towards the weekend, but that's what my eyes are lasered on. And
Harbaugh,
and I don't know if Cade is going to take this team anywhere. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, they're 10-1.
They're 10-1. I'm talking about when they get to Ohio State. That's a different animal, different beast.
Absolutely.
It's
we're
just
on the same page there. Look, Jim Harbaugh going into the year, we made the comparison. Very similar stats to Dabo Swinney 6 games in.
Yep.
And what happened year 7? Dabo got the quarterback right. And what happens when you get the quarterback right? Everybody, you know what happens. You win natties. You compete for them. You make college football appearances. You win your conference. Michigan, they don't have their quarterback. And it's going to take a Herculean effort on defense to beat Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And if they do, it'll be because of the defense. It won't be because Cade McNamara is 32 of 35 for 450 yards and 6 touchdowns. That I can guarantee you. So, moving on, Jim Harbaugh, 10-1 again, going into the final game of the year. It's the 3rd time now in 7 years. And really, it's only 6 because of a COVID year last year. So, half the time, he walks into the last game of the year with 1 loss and an opportunity to go to the Big Ten title game. 3 out of the 6 years he's been here. Now, he hasn't delivered, and that is the biggest asterisk on his resume right now at Michigan. He's got the winning percentage. He's got the wins. 10-win seasons. Book him up. All good.
Now go beat Ohio State.
You got to beat Ohio State. We talked about it last week. If it wasn't this year, when was it going to be? Ohio State, narrative. Talk about it on the show all the time. Narrative matters. Going into Ohio State game, you're coming off a 59-18 win. Ohio State is coming off senior night, and they drubbed, absolutely clobbered Michigan State, 49-7? 56-7? That, you want to talk about perfect timing? Maybe that is the perfect storm. Ohio State played too perfect of a game. And then they come out maybe not as sharp against Michigan. And then things start to fall in Michigan's way. We'll get to the argument later on in the week about the game and how it'll need to unfold for Michigan to win. But, guys, I'm telling you, if it wasn't this year, when could it ever actually be? Could it be when Harbaugh's gone and they're a 2-8 team and they beat Ohio State in the last game of the year? When they have 0 expectations? Maybe. But if not now, when Michigan? When Jim Harbaugh specifically? When can you muster up enough of a performance to beat Ohio State? And I'm telling you, we talk about the Mel Tucker deal. Michigan, you want to put your statement of intent moving forward? You beat Ohio State. You go to the Big Ten title game. You win. You make a college football appearance. And then you re-up Jim for another 10 years. That's what you do. If you can beat Ohio State. If you can win the Big Ten title. If you can't, I'm sorry. You're still the same Michigan that is more known for its brand than on-the-field accomplishments. And that's the sad reality. Kennedy, we got to hit the break. When we get back, one of our favorite segments to do.
Overreaction Monday, which I'm sure we will have a lot of today. But first, our friends with the absolute best defense, looking like Ohio State was this weekend, Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm, they get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. And Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock your doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. That's 800-STAY-OUT today. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row on Thanksgiving. All you have to do is survive our squid game. Nope, our turkey games. Listen every day to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 a.m. Big D Energy at noon. And the bottom line at 3 p.m. for your chance to qualify. The winner of turkey games will get tickets to the Thanksgiving Day Detroit game.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
Plus a turkey. So if you think you can master our turkey games challenges, watch, listen, and win. Make sure you're following @Woodward Sports on all social media or go to woodwardsports.com for additional chances to qualify. May the best turkey win.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Woodward Show. You guys know what time it is. It is time for Overreaction Monday. Jeff, I want to start with you on this beautiful Monday.
Well, this isn't really much of a, overreaction. If you're watching the Seattle Seahawks game, you would probably think this yourself. In my opinion, the Pete Carroll era is over in Seattle. And as much as I respect and love Pete Carroll, we'll get a gold jacket. The guy's been a tremendous, not only collegiate head coach, but translated in the NFL. I just think right now, it's over. With Seattle and how they're performing, not even this year, but last year, the defensive players they have, Jamal Adams, obviously, you can say what you want about him, but Bobby Wagner and what they have offensively, you get shut out, and the next week you lose to Colt McCoy, a guy who just lost to Cam Newton and P.J. Walker. They're all over the place, man. The Seattle Seahawks have been a pretty consistently bad product. I know they haven't had Russell Wilson, but even the 2 weeks with him back, they still don't look right. So I think Pete Carroll, they're going to have to find someone else, either get rid of Russell Wilson or get another guy for him. So in my opinion, Overreaction Monday, the Pete Carroll era is over in Seattle.
Well, I would call that an overreaction, but I was early to that party like 6 weeks ago. They need to move on. I agree with you. It's done. That's it. Try something new. You got what you got out of Pete Carroll. That's it. Move on, man. And I'm sure to this day he's still blaming the refs for the last 2 losses where they only put up 13 points in 2 games.
Yeah.
Lions have even scored more than that. That's saying a lot. Moving on. My Overreaction Monday is going to be the Cincinnati Bearcats will make the college football playoff.
Yes,
I
they
don't have
will.
a choice anymore. All the teams around the country are losing. And it's looking like, depending on the Bama-Georgia result, likely Georgia wins. I don't think Bama are unbeatable. They've already lost the game. I think they lose a second. That means it's really Ohio State and Georgia. Or whoever wins between Ohio State and Michigan. And then Georgia. So those are 2 spots secured, which means I'm letting in, a 1-loss Oklahoma, maybe? Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, depends. We'll see. So much football to play still, but where exactly are we going now, right? And I think the Bearcats are going to get in just by a default of how uncompetitive college football has been really from middle of the pack onwards. I think teams are just not that great. Even the teams in the top 6, top 8, None of you are sold on them. Outside of Georgia, who are you really sold on? And Ohio State. Not sold on Michigan. They haven't proven they can win the big game. Cincinnati? Do I have to go through their schedule? Notre Dame?
Go Irish!
They put up a nice win over the weekend. It looked good. Good garbage points against Georgia Tech, one of the best teams in the country, right, Kennedy?
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, Oregon just lost. So I think the Bearcats find their way into the top 4, even though I don't think they should be there. Having said that, my second overreaction, I don't think is maybe as an overreaction as many people would think, but God damn it. The Indianapolis Colts will be playing for an AFC championship this year.
Oh, that was mine.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay. No, hey, preach it.
Well,
preach to the
look,
choir.
when you have Jonathan Taylor in that run game and the defense has been playing the way it has the last 2-3 weeks,
yep.
I am so... Well, let me say I'm not sold. I've been sold on the Colts even when they were 2-5. And I was on the train of they're going to figure it out. Team is too good. Roster's too talented. Carson Wentz just needs to stop shooting them in the foot. And what Carson Wentz stopped doing? Shooting themselves in the foot. He stopped turning the ball over. Jonathan Taylor, give him the ball, let him run for 100 yards, and when he runs for 100 yards, we have a good chance of winning the football game. And there you go. There's your formula of success. Indianapolis, you're 6-5, sitting pretty, just outside of a wild card spot. I am so in love with it. So in love with the Colts. Jeff?
Well, my next one would be there. It's not really, I guess it's an overreaction in a way, but this is really the first time in a couple of years for me personally as an NFL fan. I don't know who the clear NFL runner for MVP is right now. And you see the performances that are happening left and right. You have guys, Matthew Stafford have back-to-back bad games. You have Josh Allen getting blown out by the Colts yesterday. Lamar Jackson missing a game, but even the game before losing in his last time on the field. Kyler Murray out with injury. Aaron Rodgers losing to Kirk Cousins. And then you have Dak Prescott who just lost against the Kansas City Chiefs in a big game. So right now, to me, it's a toss-up. It's going to be whoever strings the most multiple string of great games. Could be Matthew Stafford. It could be Lamar Jackson when he gets back. It could be Dak Prescott bouncing back. I don't know who it's going to be, but this year it's wide open. I can't name whoever's in first place. And
you know who's lined up to do it extremely well?
Who?
Oh, by the way, Kyler Murray is done. He's out of the MVP conversation.
It's been 4 games.
3 games. No, he's missed 3.
Yeah,
they're going to go into the bye week now. That's it. He's lost 4 total weeks of...
It's tough.
Really tough to give an MVP to a guy. I'll tell you who's lined up for an MVP, and you guys aren't going to like it. Matthew Stafford. Why, Adam? No, they just lost 2 straight, Adam. They suck. Well, hear me out. It's not just their past... Excuse me. It's not just their past 2 performances. Matthew Stafford coming off a bye week is going to be able to really go through the rest of the year. Now, if he continues to play how he has the last 2 weeks, it's not even a conversation. But if Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford can just get the offense going back to how it was, figure out how they're going to get Odell Beckham more involved. I'm sure he's now had, a good almost 2 weeks to really get involved with the playbook, understand it. I like Stafford from a narrative standpoint moving forward. Josh Allen, they're already at 4 losses. Tampa Bay, they play tonight. We'll have to see what Brady does maybe before we jump the gun. Lamar Jackson's out of the MVP conversation. They lost to the Dolphins. Then they barely beat the Bears, and they beat him without him. So Lamar, he's not at the top of the pedestal. It's so open. I agree 100%. Kennedy, what's your overreaction Monday? Please don't talk to me about Notre Dame.
Well, I was going to. They're going to be a top 5 team.
They're gonna, or they are?
They are one.
They're not.
They'll
be 6th in the college football playoff rankings after
you
Tuesday
think?
night. Yeah.
I don't.
No, I know. It's not that 5. I think. I know.
No.
It's here. I'm gonna give it to you. Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2, Alabama number 3, Bearcats number 4, number 5 Michigan, number 6 Notre Dame, number 7. Who's the team at 8 from last week?
I can look.
Regardless, that's your 6. Notre Dame's getting in at 6. Michigan State likely fall to 12 or 13. They take a big fall from grace, unfortunately.
I will say, one team that really let me down over the weekend, Wake Forest, man. I've been rooting for them.
They let you down. I've been telling you for weeks. Kennedy, they were such a fraud team. They had fraud written all over them. And the fact that the committee put them in at 10 after losing to North Carolina... was one of the biggest travesties I've seen from the committee. They've made so many dumb decisions. Putting Wake Forest at number 10 was one of them last week.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Oregon loses this weekend, finally. Jeez Louise. Where do they fall to this week?
They fall out of the top 10. They're a 2-loss team now. They're out. Look, guys, outside of Georgia and Ohio State, the rest of college, maybe even Alabama, the rest of college football, you just have questions about. Notre Dame, are they the same Notre Dame that always gets beaten by 50 in the playoff? Cincinnati, well, what the hell have they done this year? Who the hell have they beaten? Oh, Michigan? They never beat Ohio State, so why are we even going to take them seriously? It's so open this year in college football. So I think they fall out of the top 10.
Okay.
You'll see Ole Miss probably creep up to 7 or 8.
I'm good.
Maybe even Oklahoma. Oklahoma, big win over the weekend.
When I did my list, I had Baylor over Ole Miss.
I like Baylor. Baylor's a good football team.
Baylor has had a harder
path.
I'm having a stroke.
Yep. It's okay.
Yes. So that's why I put Baylor ahead of Anyway, my second overreaction of the day is that my Twitter followers are stupid.
That's an overreaction? That seems like a pretty accurate statement for everybody.
Can you back me up here?
I got you.
I tweeted, if any sort of committee watches this OSU game and still has Oregon over them this week, off with their heads. Mind you, this is before Oregon lost that I tweeted this. Let me read you my replies. If only they played each other. Amen to this. Oh, this is a smart one. Amen to this. Whatever Oregon does, they cannot be above this OSU. And Dad Jeans was the one that was trolling me all day. Like, beat OSU? They could beat them, but they didn't. Facts are facts. All you're saying is your opinion. Facts are they are losers when playing Oregon.
People are dumb, Kennedy. These are the same people.
I got another one.
No, these are the same people, Kennedy, that before the season said Jared Goff would lead this team to the playoffs. They had no complaints about the offense before the season started. They had no doubts about Jared Goff before the season started. Oh, now it's, we need talent. Go ahead, Kennedy.
This guy, Too Broke to Smoke. Love the username, by the way. That's pretty funny. They lost to Oregon at home, though. I said, I don't give an F word. I won't say it. Love you, Justin. They have a freshman at quarterback. This team was not settled in 2 games into the season. It was their second game of the goddamn season. Shut the...
It's good to lose early than to lose late.
Thank you. I said they would wipe the floor with them now. He said maybe, but they still lost to them at home. They just can't jump them. They can't jump Oregon.
Well, they are now. Yep. You strut your stuff, Kennedy. Today's the day to do it.
Today's the day. I'm over these hosts.
You've got my full support.
Sorry, can I say host? Probably not. Tell Justin. Sorry, J-Dog.
Kennedy, come on.
Happy birthday. I love you.
All right. The last overreaction I have. Fish, what the hell are you doing, buddy? What? Can we get a camera shot? What the hell are you doing? Get it on Fish. What are you doing? We're trying to do a show.
I know.
What are you doing jumping over the couch?
I was hitting her paperback.
What? Can I see Fish?
Can we get an instant replay on that? No.
What the hell were you doing, buddy?
She was on camera.
Okay.
And her paper flew. She's got to do...
the paper doesn't matter, Fish. She can pick it up during the next break.
Do you think she's going to do that?
Yeah, she has to. It's her job.
Okay.
It's my job.
You pulled Isaiah Stewart at the end of the game trying to get after LeBron.
Fish, you almost killed yourself. What happens if you would have hit your head on the floor when you fell, and then we have no audio technician? Then our mics are hot for the rest of the show.
It was 2 inches. I wasn't going to bang my head on the ground.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I
had full control of my body.
You clearly did not, because the way you fell over the chair, buddy.
No, I totally knew what I was doing. I was going backwards, grabbing the...
If you knew what you're doing, so did Dan Campbell. Kennedy, we got to go to break.
We do have to go to break, which means I get to tell you guys, and it's our last day. Warning everyone, so get ready.
Turkey games. Who was going to pick up that paper before she doesn't read?
This is true.
Thank you, Adam.
Fish. Thank you. I have to tell you about turkey games. Woodward Sports is allowing you to win 2 tickets to the Detroit Thanksgiving game by competing in our turkey games, red light, green light, egg target toss, and the honeycomb challenge. So make sure you're listening and watching at 9 a.m., noon, and 3 p.m. at Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following us as well for additional chances to qualify. All right, we will do that at 9 when we come back. Remember, this is the last day to qualify. So get it together, people, and get ready.
Qualify, people!
Get ready. Up next, we're going to be talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes. So stay tuned.
OH.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning.
Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Choosing between a 15 or 30-year mortgage can be difficult, which is why we offer the Modern Mortgage, a flexible term that's customized for you. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, everyone. The Ohio State Buckeyes showed absolutely no mercy against Michigan State Saturday, beating them 56-7. CJ Stroud finishes the day 32 for 35 for 432 yards and 6 touchdowns. At one point, he completed 17 passes in a row, a new Ohio State record. Ohio State playing a complete game. Defense limited Michigan State to 224 total yards, just 66 on the ground. Ohio State recorded 9 tackles for loss in this game, so no one can come at me anymore telling me that this Ohio State defense is
Get up
cheeks.
and show your stuff. Come on. Absolutely. Is that Olave?
Hell yeah.
Atta girl.
That's my boy.
Atta girl. Ohio State, fun fact, before we get into the game. It is unbelievable the recruiting job that they do. It's unbelievable. They have, I could argue, 3 first-round picks right now at wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They're so good.
And a
They're
future
so
first
deep.
at quarterback.
They're
yeah.
so talented. CJ Stroud, like you said, a future probably number 1 pick in the upcoming. He put his name into the stars on Saturday. That was. We talk about Heisman moments, and nobody really had them going into the weekend outside of Kenneth Walker. Well, America's C.J. Stroud announced himself. And I really want to say Kenneth Walker is still in the running, but he's going to need a lot of help. He's going to need Bryce Young to fall off a little bit. He's going to need Stroud to lose next week to Michigan, or excuse me, this Saturday to Michigan.
Yep.
He's going to need to run for 260, anywhere over 200 yards against Penn State. It's looking bleak for him. I think Stroud is now the clear front runner. Mm-hmm. I want to give it to K9 because he was consistent all year, but you can't run for 25 yards. I know he twisted his ankle, but you can't run for 25 yards in the biggest game of the year.
And you talked about earlier the Derrick Henrys, the Mark Ingrams, how the year they've had big games to close the season. So to your point, it is big. I mean,
it's really again, I'm a big fan of K9, his story, what he was able to accomplish with Michigan State, turning the program around, him and Mel Tucker. Great story. But the story has a difficult ending, and even with a good performance against Penn State, I don't see how he overcomes a C.J. Stroud who is absolutely rocket trending right now. He is through the roof, soaring to the sky. Unbelievable performance. 32 of 35.
Yeah.
432 yards, 6 touchdowns. It could have been 10 if he played the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Michigan State fans, don't take this one too hard. Don't take it too hard at all. I think coming off the week you had the big win, the extension, and then a big blowout loss. This is what you're trying to avoid in the future. You're trying to be Ohio State. You're trying to win this game 42-38 in 3-4 years. You want to compete with them on a recruiting scale. You want to compete with them on the field. Beating Ohio State is no easy task. Everybody in the Big Ten knows that. That's why they've owned the Big Ten for the last, 10 years?
Yep.
15 years, probably. So, that's a real tough one. It's real tough. The Heisman should go to Walker, given it the full track record of the season. I like what Gonzalez said with, Stroud is surrounded by All-American wide receivers. Absolutely, but you know what? That doesn't take away what he did. He hit the deep throws. He made the the reads. He adjusted. He threw beautiful balls all day. He couldn't miss.
Yeah.
And when you have a game like that, look, 32 of 35, over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns, it's hard. It's hard for me to sit up here and try to deviate from why he shouldn't get all the credit. So Kenneth Walker, I want to support him for his Heisman candidacy. I've supported him all year, but C.J. Stroud took a huge jump Saturday. And it's really going to be tough for me to see anybody dethroning him moving forward unless he and Bryce Young lose their big games against Michigan, against Georgia. Then I can see Kenneth Walker pulling away and winning it. Kennedy, why are you throwing a flag at me?
Because it's 9. We have to qualify someone.
Well, then qualify
for
somebody.
games. I hate when you throw it. You throw it fast at me. Okay. What do we want? Do you want to do it in the chat? I don't want to do first one.
Yeah.
I want you to pick.
Everybody, I want you to type in Mike G in the chat. Everybody type in Mike G. Type in Mike
That's
G
funny.
and we'll randomly select somebody to be the winner. But
Do you
Jeff,
see Mike G's profile picture right now? It's
No, what is
Caldwell.
it?
Miss you, baby.
Jim Caldwell sucks. Stop this, Mike G. If I'm a Spartan apologist, you're a Jim Caldwell apologist. Jeff, go ahead, continue on.
Well, you know what? I just want to address the Spartans fans, and this is, or at least the Michigan fans, because this is not the time. And I understand it was an ugly loss, but this is not the time to jump on the criticizing Mel Tucker bandwagon, especially after making him one of the highest-paid coaches in sports in general. This is the time for really realization. And the fact of the matter is, Mel Tucker and what he's been able to do, second year. Now they're 9-2. He's overachieved greatly. And I think we kind of understand that. They just faced Ohio State, and they looked how they looked, and that's the reality of the situation. You're 9-2. Your 2 losses to 1 Michigan, who, like we said, probably has the best chance in the Big Ten to beat Ohio State. Very impressive. Their only losses to Michigan State, so they're a very, very good football team. So their only losses are to Purdue and Ohio State. And that's the only 2 losses on Mel Tucker's records, and one of them being a very ugly loss, and a loss that C.J. Stroud had more touchdown passes than incompletions in a game where 3 receivers had over 100 yards. It was ugly all over, and we knew this. We said last week the secondary for Michigan State is going to struggle. They've struggled all year. They gave up 400 yards to Aiden O'Connell from Purdue, and now you got C.J. Stroud, the Heisman, in the Heisman race, of course, now propelled himself into first place. This guy we knew was going to have a big game. Didn't know he'd have that big of a game, 6 touchdowns at the half, but it's kind of a wake-up call. I mean, Ohio State's the best team in the Big Ten by far. I mean, I think they'll beat Michigan as well. We'll get into that later in the week, but they have the best chance to dethrone Ohio State, and that's really what Ohio State's moving their focus to next week, and if they can really get the job done against Michigan, which it is in Ann Arbor, it is going to be interesting. But Mel Tucker, I got to applaud the man and the job he's done. I'm not going to sit here and crap on what happened or what transpired on Saturday. We knew it was ugly. Defensively, offensively, Kenneth Walker couldn't get anything going. And we said this. If they go down early, it's going to be hard for Kenneth Walker to do really anything. You're going to have to rely on Jaden Reed. He obviously had the fumble. They don't have Jalen Naylor already. And Peyton Thorne just didn't look like himself. So it's just the fact of the matter. I'm not going to overreact to a Michigan State loss to a by far superior Ohio State team, but what I am going to do is just kind of praise Mel Tucker and the job he's done. I mean, just the year entirely, and we'll see if he can beat Penn State. It's a pretty good year. I mean, you lost to Ohio State and Purdue. Purdue, obviously, it was kind of the hangover after the Michigan win, but I'm not going to sit here. You can't crap on the man for 2 losses. I mean, it was a good year, and although C.J. Stroud looks like a future number 1 overall pick, it's just the reality, and he's probably going to do something similar next week. Obviously, better defense, but they're going to have Michigan's going to have to score a lot of points as well. I mean, we said this. Michigan State can score 30. Ohio State's probably going to score 50. In this case, they almost scored damn near 60. They went up a whole lot. So.
I have great news.
What's the good news? What's up?
So, the section I'm in to purchase a ticket for the Michigan-Ohio State game in row 77 is $546.
Yep.
I am in one of the first rows. So I could probably row 6 right now is going for $1,070.
You could easily sell that for $2,000.
I can easily double my money right now if I wanted
No,
to.
don't.
Easily.
I'm going to the game now.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm still going. I don't want to miss
Okay.
that. That's a hell of a game.
Oh, hell of a game.
I can't not watch potentially Michigan win their first game of importance in the last 20 years. I have to be there. And if Ohio State kills them, then oh well.
But then you get to witness.
But I get to witness another
And
killing.
it's- What, isn't it a noon game?
Yes,
It
it
is
is.
a noon game.
And
My
it's on
freaking
Fox.
favorite.
It's on Fox as well.
Well, I'm waking up super early that day. I'm going to be drinking
I love
early.
drinking at 6
Have a nice
a.m.
breakfast
Let's go.
around 8:30. Drink some more.
Yep.
And then just go enjoy my time at the game.
The only way to
I don't
do
know
it.
what I should wear because I'm not going to wear Michigan apparel.
You can have this.
Then just wear
No.
neutral
I'm not wearing
colors.
Ohio State apparel. I should wear something like totally like.
Wear a J.J. McCarthy jersey.
I have my
I'm going to
Notre
buy an
Dame
Appalachian
stuff.
State jersey.
Oh my God.
I'm going to buy an Appalachian State jersey.
You're gonna get
and I'm
killed.
wear it. What year was it that they lost to Appalachian State?
2007.
07?
Yeah.
There's going to be some triggered
I am getting the number
people.
7 Appalachian State jersey, and I'm wearing it to the game. Kennedy,
You realize
meet me outside. We got to take pictures together that day.
You realize
outside. All right.
That's worse than wearing Ohio State.
Oh, I know.
Because
That's
they're
the whole
like,
point, buddy.
okay.
Listen, Fish, you think I care about their feelings?
Adam only
You do
wants
when
to
you
start
get
a fight.
punched in the face by
Listen,
some.
I told you to go to the dog pound this
Yeah,
weekend.
we have to bring
and
this
start
up.
a fight. And
Okay.
you didn't even do that. So don't even talk to me, Fish.
Well,
I'm
you
very
knew I
upset
wasn't
with you.
going-
I'm very upset with
That's
you.
fine.
I told you exactly what to do.
Yep.
Walk in with F the Bears, F
Yep.
Ohio shirt,
Okay.
and go to the dog pound. You didn't. I'm disappointed in you. I'm like a father looking at his son that disappointed him. I don't want to talk to you right now. Moving on.
Wow.
Okay, that's fine.
You hurt my feelings, Fish.
Okay, that's fine.
And I don't even have feelings. And
He
you hurt
said
them.
that's fine. He doesn't care.
He's so rude. Kennedy, before we head to break, kind of walk me through now Ohio State. Coming off a huge win, is there a potential letdown looming for Ohio State? I mean, again, you guys were up 49-0 at halftime.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It was everyone in the stadium was thinking about Michigan 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21-0, the game was done. I mean, what's now? What now? You know, Ryan Day got to coast, play his second stringers. I mean, they're going to be all but ready for Michigan on the weekend. What are your expectations narrative-wise? You know, does this loss really hurt Ohio State, and do you see them not recovering from it, and then they fall into this, like, you know,
What loss?
trend? Well,
You're saying if they lose to Michigan?
Michigan, do you see them trending downwards, or no, they're just they're at too high of a class recruiting-wise for them to ever fall off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll fall off completely, but I don't really think they'll lose either. So, hard to say because I don't think there's any way that they lose this weekend. I mean, obviously there's a small slivery chance, but it's just not going to happen. I don't care that it's at the big house. They're going to be high off of this big win. I mean, they just annihilated Michigan State. So I think it'll be not similar. I think the score will be much closer, especially that's an away game for them. But it's still going to be a win at the end of the day.
Fair enough. All right, I can't wait to talk about Ohio State and Michigan over the coming week. I mean, we'll probably get Brandon Brown on. Definitely want to get Anthony Broom here.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to all these Michigan guys. And you know what? I want to bring some Ohio State people onto the show, so we'll work on that as well. Well, I mean, you know, you're here every day.
No, I wasn't talking about me.
Oh, do you
I have
know who I'm
friends that
talking
played
about?
and stuff.
Are you talking about
Oh.
the former player whose father was a former coach and player?
No.
No? All right, then we're on totally different
Okay,
pages.
but either way, we can get.
Isn't Taylor Decker an Ohio State alum?
Yes. We're not getting. Taylor Decker hates us.
I know. I'm going to ask him either way. I'm going to have Corey reach out and see if he'll do it.
Yeah, right. He will come and kill you.
Oh, I would love for him to be on the show. I would love for athletes who take things extremely personal to go have a conversation with a person that they don't like. I really would love that. I would love for Taylor
sure
Decker to
they'd
show
love
up
it too,
and just just chat.
He could
Like,
kill
hey
you.
man, well, you know, I didn't like what you said. Him addressing me, like, I thought what you said was BS, and he can say whatever he wants, and I'll say, yeah, man, what I think is BS is that you're getting paid $15 million a year to sit on the bench, and we drafted a left tackle that I think is going to be way better than you, and here you are still complaining. What, week 11, week 12 now? Tell me why we shouldn't trade you. Tell me what team that rebuilds doesn't trade their veteran players.
Tell me why you don't want to be traded to a better team. That's
so
what
many
I don't
questions
get.
I have. So many questions. But, Kennedy, we got to go to break. When we get back, what do we got?
When we
got
come back
coming up? We got the NFL. We've
Yes.
got to go over all the NFL games. That's fun.
So we will do that when we come back. But first, our friends that we will be visiting soon over at the Foaling Warehouse.
All right, guys, the Foaling Warehouse, home of the original bowling pin game called Foaling. I believe we're doing that this upcoming weekend, Saturday or Sunday. We're going to be down there. It's going to be so much fun. In Hamtramck, host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends to have a great time. 2 ways to play: $10 unlimited open play, or reserve a private lane reservation for $120 that you can host up to 10 people for 2 hours. They have over 100 beers, $2 Mystic Beer Machine, and multiple bars throughout the facility. Bring your own food or have it delivered. Come and get your full on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com. That's foldingwarehouse.com.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuned into the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. It is time for us to go around the NFL, get you all caught up on all the games you might have missed yesterday. I want to start with the Colts and the Bills. Oh my goodness, did the Colts blow out the Bills? The Bills need a running back in everything offensively so bad right now.
I don't care. I'm just so glad the Colts are doing what they're doing right now. What a game. Jonathan Taylor, 5-touchdown performance, joins Alvin Kamara and Jamal Charles as the last two running backs to do so. Unbelievable performance. Tip of the cap to everybody that had Jonathan Taylor in their fantasy teams this week. I'm sure you won. If you lost, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Your team would have had to take a major dump for you to lose with that 50, 56 points, depending on the type of league you're in. But unfortunately, I don't know if you guys know this, I went up against Jonathan Taylor this weekend.
And
I am still winning.
Oh, so talk about those guys who are having a bad week.
Well, it's complicated. He had Patrick Mahomes, too.
Oh,
and
okay.
Mahomes only got him 7 points, so it kind of balanced out. It's a real high-scoring game. But anyways, I also went up against Stick this weekend in our fantasy league, and he had Jonathan Taylor, and I have no chance at winning that game. That one.
What are you going to do?
Nothing you can do about that.
Nothing you can do.
Just chalk up the L and move on, boys. You move on. But
hey, can I say this real quick too? Yeah. I did beat Fish with my. He did have Keenan, the guy I traded him to. I did not have
Keenan
Calvin Ridley.
Went off, man.
Hey, listen, he did, and I did get the win. But come on,
you had Austin Eckler, I believe, so
yep,
you were
I did.
just fine.
I did.
Moving on though. Colts look really good. Bills trending in a downward direction. They're no longer in the division lead. The New England Patriots now 7-4, sitting pretty with the half-game lead. They still play each other twice. So those two games against each other is what's going to determine the division. If one of the teams, the Patriots or the Bills, can win both, there's your division winner, likely. But Bills are trending downwards, and they got to get their act together. They got to get the running backs more involved. Stephon Diggs is great. We all know that. But the offense just looks so inept. They don't look like they're capable of getting anything going right now. It's really tough to watch. And then you look at the Colts. They found their formula. They found it. Pound the rock and take your deep shots when you have them with Michael Pittman and T.Y. Hilton. I love it. I'm in love with the Colts. In love with them.
Yeah, the Colts this year at least, what are they, 6-5? You have a Titans team who's 7-4, and they have a realistic shot. Yes, you've lost 2 times against the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry, might I add, and the Colts this all year, we've talked about them being way better than their record presented itself to be. You just saw it this weekend, beating the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, 41-15. Yeah, like you said, Jonathan Taylor, that's the recipe for success. You don't want Carson Wentz to put you in those situations, have to win you a ball game. Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns, did it for you. So hopefully the Bills figure it out. I picked Josh to be my MVP before the season. You've seen how it's been going so far. I still have Lamar winning it, but it's still a wide-open race. But nonetheless, the Bills will bounce back. The Patriots are going to contend them, and those 2 games I cannot wait for because it's going to be a battle between a great defense and an offense that have been struggling as of late. But you got to give the credit to the Indianapolis Colts and Frank Reich. I mean, what they've been able to do the last couple games have been impressive, man, and credit to them. They deserve this win.
All right, well, moving on to an NFC North matchup that made me very happy. The Vikings beat the Packers 34-31.
Oh, that was a great game to watch. And what I tell you about the Vikings earlier on in the year, that they were going to make the playoffs, they were going to make the run for the wild card. They were playing too well, losing way too many close games. They were going to get it turned around. And what did they do? They show up at home against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Fun fact, Matt LaFleur is 13-2 in the NFC North. Both of his losses have come against the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers had a great game, but the defense finally kind of looked somewhat human. They've played a really good last 2-3 weeks. The Green Bay defense better than you've expected, and they kind of came back to reality on Sunday against the Vikings. Great win. Justin Jefferson. LSU may be considered wide receiver university in the last few years. Him, Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Justin Jefferson had a monster game, almost 200 yards receiving. Kirk Cousins, we all know, had a great game.
He's having a good year.
He's been consistent, man.
Yeah, Kirk.
He hasn't looked like primetime Kirk, where he just shrinks.
People compared him to Jared before the season. I mean, they're pretty comparable. But look at the year he's having, though. What is he, 20 touchdowns?
Look, his receiver, he does have great weapons to work with, a decent O-line.
But he isn't turning the ball over.
He's playing good football. And that is problematic. The Vikings have a damn good team. When he can hit the deep ball to Justin Jefferson, he has Adam Thielen as his third down out guy. That is a damn good team. And they're a pain in the butt to play against. It's that simple. You don't want to play the Vikings come January. They have Dalvin Cook, and even if he's out, Madison is still a respectable option. It is a tough team to play against. The defense is pretty decent. Watch out for the Vikings.
No, the Vikings, that was a good win. I mean, walk-off field goal. You beat a good Packers team, a team that just shut out Seattle last week, and they gave up 34, of course, to the Minnesota Vikings. And we've talked about all year, Minnesota, again, like the Indianapolis Colts, better than their record presents itself. And they're still number 2. They're the second-best team in the NFC North. We've all talked about that all year. And Kirk Cousins, the year he's having, he only has 2 interceptions on the year, which is just incredible. He's finding a way to get his playmakers the ball. Tyler Conklin, a Lance Cruz North product, someone who lives by me, Macomb, Michigan, from the area. He played another good game. He's been a consistent target all year for him. So got to give credit to this Minnesota Vikings team and the job they're doing. So credit to them and Kirk Cousins, man. They deserve that win yesterday, despite Aaron Rodgers still chucking in 4 touchdowns. They still found a way to win.
Another team that is trending downwards, the Las Vegas Raiders get pretty blown out by the Bengals, 32-13. Your thoughts there, boys?
We called the game on Friday. We both agreed that this would be one of the blowout games of the weekend.
And we called them to be frauds, too.
The Raiders always do this. They come out strong out of the gates, and then the team just lets down. Derek Carr, what the hell you want him to do? He's throwing a Zay Jones, Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Darren Waller. I forgot the guy that gets doubled. See how Hawk is doing this year. It's not all that great. Trust me, it's difficult. Getting doubled every time, it's reserved for very special people. Tough to overcome, especially when your run game can't get going, especially when your defense just can't get off the field because of dumb penalties. They're not a well-coached team. Jonathan Abram, I like him as a safety. Big hitter, just not a good pass coverage defender at all.
He's getting exposed.
He's just not good. The team is not good, but I'm going to compliment Cincinnati more than I'm going to criticize Vegas. Joe Burrow, efficient day at the office. Joe Mixon, finally healthy, showing the kind of back he can be for a franchise. Really happy with Joe Mixon. Jamar Chase, another touchdown yesterday. What a shocker. Zach Taylor now 6-4 this year. Big win. Couldn't drop to 5-5. Needed to win that game. They did. Good for the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, the game that we said, they can't afford to lose. They would have been 5-5. Now they're 6-4. They stay alive in a division where the Steelers just lost against the Los Angeles Chargers. It's a win that Zach Taylor needed, and they came out, had a good game plan. Isn't forcing Joe Burrow to necessarily throw the football a whole lot. 20 for 29. They really just fed Joe Mixon and rode right behind him, and that's what you got to do. If you can run the ball effectively against a team like the Raiders, you do it, and you don't put Joe Burrow in situations where you might turn the ball over like you did against the Browns. So credit to Zach Taylor, put together a great game plan and beat a Raiders team who we've all known had a little bit of fraudulence. They're a little fraudulent. They're 5-5 now. They're probably going to end the year probably with 6-7 wins in total. And but nonetheless, got to give credit to Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow. It was a good win, solid win.
All right, moving on to the game I was wrong about. I thought the Seahawks would upset the Cardinals, but no. The Cardinals win 23-13.
Pete Carroll's got to go. You guys can keep yelling at me on Twitter all you want. You got to go. You guys want to hop on the train, be my guest. It's there weeks ago. You gotta move on. You got to try something new. They don't look good. There's nothing good about the Seahawks outside of Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. You have nothing going for you. You gave up multiple first-round picks for Jamal Adams. Pete Carroll, you idiot. You idiot. For what? A safety? When the hell have safeties ever translated for anything?
Yeah.
I didn't know having a great safety outside of Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu ever made you a contender. I mean, Pete is just an idiot. The game's past him. It's moved on. He had the Legion of Boom early on. It was a great time to be a Seahawks fan. The project is done. You need to move on. Move on from Pete. Credit to the Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is the clear frontrunner for Coach of the Year. I don't think anyone can debate that. Won another game with a backup quarterback. Colt McCoy looked damn good.
Yeah.
Efficient. Zach Ertz had a baller game. Looked like the prime Zach Ertz of old. So nothing but credit for the Arizona Cardinals. Good win. Seahawks, time to move on from Pete Carroll, and I suggest you do it now, not at the end of the year. Try to get the offense going. Unless you're in full tank mode for a top pick, you got to get this team going. Get this team to 7-8 wins. Give them confidence. You were a 12-win team last year. No adjustments have been made. None. Got to move on from Pete.
And with this Seattle Seahawks squad, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if you look at the beginning of the year and how they started, first game dropping in overtime to the Titans, losing the next week against the Vikings. Obviously, they won against the Colts. They started 2-4 to start the season, and they already looked, before the Russell Wilson injury, they looked bad. And now he comes back from injury. They still look bad offensively, defensively. They just can't figure it out. And listen, I will give them this. They are missing Chris Carson, and that's going to affect them when they can't run the ball. But nonetheless, no excuse to look this bad. I mean, Colt McCoy walked into Seattle and left with a W. No excuses for that. Pete Carroll, they need to move on in a different direction. Thank you for everything he's done for the franchise, getting them that Super Bowl, making that big mistake in the other Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, you appreciate what he's done for you and you move on. Seattle, on and off into better things. They're over. But that loss was despicable. I picked them to win as well. That was my upset of the weekend. Didn't go my way, but if anything, it makes me more disgusted with the job Pete Carroll's doing than anything. That was a game they were set up to upset the Cardinals easily, but credit to the Cardinals. They stayed strong, and Cliff Kingsbury is your Coach of the Year. So it is what it is.
All right, moving on to a game I cannot wait to get your guys' take on, because Cowboys fans are complaining that the refs helped the Kansas City Chiefs win the game. Cowboys, we've never been in that position. Maybe not in, 2016. But anyway, Kansas City Chiefs win 19-9.
Look, Cowboys fans, this one you should just chalk up as a loss and move on. Don't dwell too much on this. Don't blame the refs. You looked really bad. You looked really bad, and you were thankful that you were even in that game. The Chiefs just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah.
Mistake after mistake. Couldn't put together a drive when they had you up by 10. They could have been up by 17, 24, 31 if they wanted to. They just weren't getting it going. Your defense made some opportunistic plays. Got to Patrick Mahomes. Some interceptions. It looked good. A fumble. There were a lot of good things that you did on defense, but your offense was just anemic. And last I checked, the penalties are a factor, yeah, but that is not the reason you lost. Dak Prescott looked lost without his number one target. CeeDee Lamb went down early, returned late. It was too late. Cowboys lost. Get over it. Stop being babies about it.
And this was my other upset. I thought that at least Dallas Cowboys, I don't know how much of an upset it'd be considering how the Chiefs have been playing. Not the last couple of games, but prior to that. But no, the Kansas City Chiefs, they played a bad game. The Dallas Cowboys just played an even worse game. Offensively, Dak Prescott, obviously, you could talk about the 2 turnovers, but at the end of the day, I expected a lot more, at least from the run game. Weren't able to run the ball, which led to Dak forcing through tough windows. Kansas City Chiefs, credit to them. At least offensively, they've stepped up over the last couple of weeks, but I don't know if I'm going to sit here and say I'm sold on the Kansas City Chiefs. Before the season, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. It ain't looking good, even a win against the Cowboys. We'll see how they progress throughout the season, but this is more on the Cowboys losing the game than I think it is as the Chiefs winning the game. It is what it is, though.
All right, boys, the last game I want to get into, we didn't have it on the list, but we have to do it. Eagles take on the
Kennedy.
Saints. Listen.
You just talk about it.
Listen.
You can just talk about it.
Well, obviously, love you the most, Darius Slay. Congrats on your 3rd touchdown in 4 games. But, Adam, this is my question for you. Going into fantasy football this season, was so ecstatic to have LA Rams defense. I have now picked up Eagles defense. I think I'm going to just keep rocking with them.
Who do they play next?
Let us see.
How about you figure that one out first? I'll tell you. They play the Giants and the Jets.
Yes.
So I would start them against the Giants and the Jets.
Woo! I did such a good job picking them up.
I would, and I believe Arizona's on schedule for the Rams.
Oh, let's go, boys. This is a lock for me.
Not Tampa Bay. Who do the Rams play next? I'll tell you exactly. Give me 1 second. They play the Packers and then the Jaguars. So next week, this upcoming weekend, you start the Eagles. The following, I think you got to play the Rams against the Jags, don't you?
I don't know.
Unless you want to take the Jets game. I think the Jets probably beat the Eagles that game.
It's a better game.
I could make a call from now that the Jets probably beat the Eagles 2 weeks from now.
Hey,
I think the Eagles just have a letdown.
They look dang good.
But either way, you have a solid play at defense either way, Kennedy. So you should be happy. But
I am.
Credit to Nick Sirianni. I mean, talk about a guy that sounds like Dan Campbell at the mic. Jesus Christ. But he's got 5 wins. So what the hell can I say?
True.
Move on. We got to go to break.
We do have to go to break, which means coming up next, we get to touch on the Lions and their quarterback situation. I'm sure you're all looking forward to it. But before we go, we need to hear about our friends over at Lady Jane's.
Yeah, Lady Jane's. Listen, guys, let's be honest. We're a simple bunch, and we like Sunday football and the feel of a TV remote in the palm of our hand. We like things uncomplicated. Like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You walk in, sit down, sign in, and before you know it, your hair game is ready. And Lady Jane's, they're open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. They're open any time of the week. You come in, you get taken care of, you get to watch your favorite sports teams on the televisions, and when you walk out, you're looking fresh. So walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, again, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With mortgage interest rates unbelievably low, the stakes to find your new home have never been higher. And that's why Hall Financial's exclusive realtor network allows us to connect you with a top-rated realtor in your area, making sure you take on the housing market and win. Hall Financial has earned over 4,000 five-star reviews because of our technology and our commitment to closing your loan fast. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Woodward Show. All right, Tim Boyle took the field over an injured Goff, but he's clearly not the answer either. Like I said earlier, 77 yards and a pair of interceptions. So you guys, do the Lions need to take a quarterback in this upcoming draft? The Lions are now ranked at the bottom of the NFL in terms of their passing attack. Let us just sit on that for a moment. So, Jeff, your thoughts?
Well, they need a whole lot, and obviously they definitely need to address that position. But if you could see, they need a whole lot more talent, not only offensively but defensively. I mean, we talk about this draft and how we'd mostly go defense, and I still stand by that. As much as I want to just say the easy decision is, listen, let's just take a quarterback. Anything's better than what we have. It's not what you want to do, especially with this team. And how many holes they have? You want to address a Kayvon Thibodeau. You want to take, like we talked about, a Dotson late in the first, a Nakobe Dean in the second. Like, you want to take a mostly defensive draft. Maybe take a quarterback late in the second, maybe third, take a flyer on one and see what he is. But for the most part, I still think this team needs to fix things. They've been playing great defensively, so that's easy to write them off and say, well, defensively they've been solid. There's other positions you need to address. No, I think it's more so on the fact that Aaron Glenn has gotten a lot out of these guys, and the talent still isn't there. You're going to need another pass rusher, another linebacker, something in the secondary. There's holes they need to address, but nonetheless, maybe if you take a flyer on a guy like, Matt Corral is probably going to be gone. Kenny Pickett Pickett, most likely gone. I mean, if there is a Malik Willis, we talk about the JT Daniels of the world, Keaton Slovis.
I'm off the Malik Willis. Aren't you?
I mean, I am, but if it's late, I mean, who else?
I mean,
it depends
late.
who's there.
Is it second round late?
No, I'm talking third.
Okay.
I don't want second
round.
round.
The flyer on day 3. Just don't.
No.
Day 1 and don't you dare.
I agree with you. I didn't agree with all the hype to begin with, but Nakobe Dean, we talked about it. The defense would be the more smarter route, and I think you could attest to that.
I think you need to build a damn good roster, and you know what? You're going to have a top 5 pick this year and next year.
Mm-hmm.
You get the quarterback next year. Taking a quarterback 27th, 35th, 42nd,
especially when you're not sold on him completely.
What are you doing here? Yeah. Jared Goff, you $30 million on the books next year. If you have learned anything about Jared Goff in his career, is when surrounded with good talent, he can be a reasonable, serviceable quarterback. Okay, so load up on talent.
Mm-hmm.
Let Jared Goff go on next year, and if he shits the bed, oh well. Oh well. Who cares? You're drafting a quarterback anyway, because I promise you Jared Goff is not the long-term answer. And if you want to take a flyer on one later in the rounds this year, be my guest. I expect to see him midway into next season, because there's no point in playing Jared Goff the full season. If you have somebody in there, you might as well see what you got. And if you got something, you'll know right away. It doesn't take long. Quarterbacks typically show you early on if they are capable. And if that one that you draft is solid, great job. If not, you know you got to take one, number 1, number 2, number 3 overall. That's your reality over the next 16 to 18 months.
And I got to add this, too. People overreact. Oh, we need a quarterback. Well, look at around the league and young quarterbacks that don't have everything going good around them. The Zach Wilsons of the world, the Justin Fields of the world, those guys struggle. I mean, and it's the fact of the matter. Build a good team that not only Jared Goff can have somewhat of success in next year, but your young quarterback can have success in for the future to come. I mean, if you have a good defense, look at the Panthers. They can't figure out the quarterback position, but they have a great defense. They have a good run game, and they have talented wide receivers. They just need to figure out the quarterback position, and you're hoping the Lions can get to that point where they have everything going around the quarterback. They just need to figure out that position. Right now, they have to figure out a whole lot. Receivers. Offensive line looks good, but defensively, different pieces. You're going to need receivers, definitely a quarterback. So there's things they're going to have to fill, but to your point, I think the overreaction this year, they need a quarterback, and you're going to have a quarterback next year that has statistics like Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. They're just struggling. And it's not something that I'm a fan of. You want a good situation for any quarterback to walk into. I'm not saying you got to have the Patriots, but something formidable that a guy can walk into and not be set up to fail. So I still think defense, man, that's what they got to do. Take a flyer on a Carson Strong, but Nakobe Deans of the world, those guys you have to target. Playmakers defensively, and maybe get a wide receiver. That's all you got to worry about. That's all I'm worried about. That's all Lions fans should be worried about. Taking care of the other positions. Don't worry about the quarterback position just because of how bad it's been played this year. Jared Goff, Tim Boyle, that's the easy reaction. That's the easy answer, but you're going to need a whole lot. All right, it's going to take a whole lot of different ingredients to make this beef stew. It ain't going to just take 1 or 2 things and you're done. It's going to take a whole lot of ingredients, a whole lot. So, and I know we went through the mock draft, a week ago, and we mapped it out perfectly. The first 3 picks, probably 2 defensive players and a wide receiver. It's just the fact of the matter, and I'm okay with it. And I would love it for Brad Holmes if he did that. We'll love it.
Yeah, look, I think we're all on the same page. Everyone in the chat as well. You need to take a quarterback. Eventually, when you get the quarterback, you know how much easier life is. Guys, think of the Lions pre-Matthew Stafford. Life was complicated. You were awful. He comes in. You had a few good years, and you were kind of like middle of the pack. You could never really build anything special. But at least the quarterback wasn't the clear detriment to your football team. At least you weren't wasting roster talent because your quarterback just wasn't good enough. So we all know you need to take a quarterback. I think it's predictable. Whether it's this year or next year, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sold on Malik Willis. I don't think he's Lamar Jackson coming out. I think it's comparable. Why? Because he can run as a quarterback? That's the comparison?
That's ignorant.
It really is. Lamar Jackson was a prolific thrower and runner, Heisman winner in college football at Louisville, not freaking Liberty. You get my point. Sorry. Shut up, Kennedy. Anyways.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson with an arm is just disrespectful. That's the most...
It's unnecessary. Like, I get it. You're trying to find the next Lamar Jackson. I promise you, he is not the next Lamar Jackson. And to be quite honest with you, it's never as good as the original. So what makes Lamar Jackson so good? He isn't Michael Vick. He's accurate with the football. He can throw the football accurately on a consistent basis. That's what separates him. He's just as dynamic. I could argue Vic was maybe more spectacular, but regardless, we're pulling hairs here. Who cares? They're both special in their own way. Malik Willis is not that. And the Lions shouldn't spend a first-round pick on him at all. I am totally off ship. Jeff, you're getting compliments in the chat, buddy. Your facial hair.
Listen, my man Adam.
What's going on here?
You're making solid points with facial hair, Adam. I had to grow my own facial hair, so now I'm making points with mine.
Look at it. We'll see him in the chat. Watching Jeff's facial hair develop over the last 2 weeks is like watching my baby grow up in diapers.
Come on,
so proud of you, bud.
Okay,
I'm proud of you too.
Yeah, listen, shave
I'm
November.
going to buy you a beard kit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is going to be my Christmas gift for you. I'm going to buy you a beard kit.
God, you know what?
I brush my beard every day.
Are you serious?
And I put oil in it. Absolutely.
God.
Swear to God. Take care of my beard.
There's a whole lot I got to...
Very important.
Listen, Adam's just very delicate. Very delicate.
One of these days, I'm just going to show up, though, with a clean shave, and none of you
I think everybody would get thrown
None
off.
of you are going to know who I am.
I would ask if you work here.
My wife told me she would divorce me the day I shave completely.
Really?
Yeah, she hates me when I'm shaved.
I don't even know what you
I'll
would
send
look
Alex
like.
Mayer a picture here. Give me a second.
I was going to say...
Alex Mayer?
Okay, I was going to say... Listen.
You were effing up today.
Shut up, Mayor Westfall. You made a big... This guy was at the game on Sunday night.
Okay, yep, we have
and he
to go
was a
there.
jackass because he didn't throw a beer at LeBron James.
Yeah.
So you wanted me to take one for the team, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, you would have been okay if I didn't show up this morning?
I would have paid for your bail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah.
But Westy,
I would have bailed you out of jail.
You would have TD'd this morning?
We would have figured it out.
we would have thrown fish over
Didn't
there.
they say you would be banned for life from LCA?
Yes. Yeah, they said that you would be banned and you'd be sent to jail.
Oh, wow. I'm so sad I can't go to the LCA. I can go watch the Pistons on the road.
Yeah, but you miss concerts and all the other good stuff that happens at LCA.
Is the drink worth it, though? I mean, that's tough. If you were pitching that drink, if Alex were to throw that drink, I'd be proud of him, but he would have to throw that thing with conviction because he'd probably never be back to that arena for quite a while. So, You know what, Alex? I'm a little disappointed, but you know what? It's just the truth. You did the right thing. All right, you probably would have. Honestly, you would have been a legend though. If the guy who threw the drink at LeBron to start a possible part 2 Mouse at the Palace would have been great. But I'm happy with what I saw. Alex has went to 2 games. Went to the Pacers game, which we got absolutely. It was a great game. And then now, which you lost the bet against the Pacers, right? I think you bet the over and you lost that. Now you get to fight this yesterday. I got to get down to a Pistons game, baby. It's been getting interesting. But now I want to see Adam without a beard. I think that's what we're all looking forward to.
This is from 2017, so you guys are going to freak out.
2017.
I was a baby.
You got a good 4 or 5 years now.
I was a baby. All right, Westfall, I'm sending it to you now. Check your email.
Okay.
Oh, God, this is like
unveiling. I'm trying to find these comments. Someone was coming at you earlier in the chat, but I can't remember exactly what he said. He was like, hey, yo, guy in the beard, say something about... And he was defending LeBron.
LeBron's a bitch, so we can start there. Who's the guy in the beard? Me?
Yeah. Well, I know. You both have beards now, so he might have been talking to Jeff.
Have you seen it? Because I don't see it right now.
No, it was so long ago. I wanted to pull it, and I
He goes,
forgot.
you made the right choice, Alex. The odds of landing that drink were slim.
This is
Kennedy, I don't see what you're talking about.
It was so long ago in the show. That's why I'm scrolling forever to try and find it, but never mind.
We'll figure it out, Kennedy. We'll be waiting. Do you have it, Westfall?
This is shocking.
Oh, God.
Is it that bad?
Oh!
my gosh. Who is that?
I was 20. I think I was 21. I was at my cousin's wedding and rehearsal or whatever it was.
Literally, you're like...
It's 4 years ago.
Your
5 years
eyebrows
ago.
are so bushy with
4 or
like
5
nothing.
years ago. Yeah, I know. That's
your
me.
face.
It's me, no beard.
Wow.
Yeah, you can take it down now. It doesn't have to be on the
keep it
screen
up.
for that long.
I'm not done.
The beard presents confidence. That's what it looks
man.
like. Look at this.
Easy. Adam accidentally sent the email to May.
He just opens his
email.
email.
All right, we got to go to break, but that is me without a beard.
We do have
Cat's
to go to
out
break.
of the box, or what the hell? What is it?
Cat's out of the bag.
The hat, whatever.
I
There's
don't
a multi-
care.
It's out.
Whatever. It's out.
It's
all
out.
right? Any screenshots will be a lawsuit followed up. All right.
Yeah,
Blocked and
we got to
reported.
go to break.
We do, which means we get to hear about our friends over at Gypsy Vodka.
Absolutely. It took exploring 50 different formulas and countless taste tests, but Gypsy Vodka has finally nailed it. The best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Gypsy is gluten-free and corn distilled 6 times using artisan spring water. Support our local brothers here from Michigan, Michigan State alum graduates. Try a bottle today. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy, and of course, please, as always, drink responsibly.
Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row on Thanksgiving. All you have to do is survive our squid game. Nope, our turkey games. Listen every day to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 a.m. Big D Energy at noon. And the bottom line at 3 p.m. for your chance to qualify. The winner of turkey games will get tickets to the Thanksgiving Day Detroit game.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
Plus, a turkey. So if you think you can master our turkey games challenges, watch, listen, and win. Make sure you're following at Woodward Sports on all social media, or go to woodwardsports.com for additional chances to qualify. May the best turkey win.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. Westy, if you could, as those comments roll in about Adam's beard, please put them up. They are so funny. The people in our chat are hilarious. They say, hey, yo, guy with the beard, put that beard back on. Which, like, yeah, please don't ever shave.
Does anybody in the chat, 1, have a beard, and 2, do you, like, maintain it? And what I mean by maintain is, like, do you have a brush at home, a whole kit with, like, those essential
I know
oils?
Easy does, and he's in the chat.
Easy does, or he doesn't?
Easy, like, walks around the office brushing his beard because he doesn't have any hair to brush.
He doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, he does. Ooh.
Oh, this is beard.
You're gonna have to.
beard.
Ooh, I'm not
Isn't
getting
it
in the
like
middle
super
of that.
thin?
It's a beard.
It looks like a.
It's just,
He literally like.
Your beard's more like thicker. I mean, he has a beard. It's a full beard.
He has a beard. That's not what I'm saying. But like
what are you trying to say?
He brushes his.
I don't know. Like, does his ever grow out, or is it just strictly like it's a flat line?
I'm sure he trims it. Like, I'm sure if he didn't trim it,
I think he
would
gets
look
his
like
beard lined up.
He would look like Uncle Easy if he grew it out. It would look like a big old.
You gotta grow it out.
Please grow it out.
Oh, Easy, yo. Halloween isn't until next year. Easy. I got an idea for you. I can't say it on air though. FBI might take us down. I have a great costume idea for you.
Oh,
You're
don't
bald.
say
He
it.
doesn't have any hair.
Don't say that.
Grow out his beard.
I know what you're saying.
I don't like
Oh
it.
my
Maybe
goodness.
a gown.
You better
Easy.
stop.
We got to talk after the show, buddy.
Jeez Louise. All right, you guys.
I could take Easy somewhere. All right. Well, move on. We got to talk about something.
Something that's not going to get us taken down. All right. You guys, are we giving Dan Campbell... First of all, let's just clear this. Adam said he's not going to judge Dan Campbell until next Thanksgiving. Well, we're coming up on this Thanksgiving, and it's been bad. Are we giving Dan Campbell a pass still? I want to review the play calling. Was it too conservative? Even Dan Campbell himself came out and said, I might have been too conservative. Might have been.
He
looked awful. It was bad.
Dan really surprises me at the podium. I mean, every week I think like he can't say worse than what he said last week, and then there he goes. I mean, he doesn't even know what he's saying. Honestly. If he could go back and watch all of his pressers, he would be like, what the hell am I saying? Why would I say that? Kennedy, to answer your original point, no. I'm not going to roast the guy and ask for his head this year. Absolutely not. I am total game to criticize him, especially after yesterday's performance. I can do whatever the hell I want. What I won't do is, I'm not going to say you have to fire Dan Campbell right now. I already let my feelings about him are very public. I said it before the season started. Having said that, I'm going to give him a fair opportunity. Thanksgiving of next year, I'll have all the information I'll need to know if Dan Campbell is going to make it as a head coach, not only in the league, but for the Detroit Lions, which is already a leg down, and you're already at a disadvantage. So, Kennedy, no, I'm not going to judge him. He's not going to get a pass, but he's not going to get a pass for awful play calling. It's not even conservative. It's just awful. Like, I did it, and you guys were laughing earlier, but I swear to God, This was the play calling philosophy yesterday. Screen, run, screen, 1 yard dump off, 3 yard underneath route, 4 yard out route, screen, draw. Every third down play, we're going to run a draw. 3rd and 1, we're going to run a fullback dive. We haven't ran that play all year. Oh well. God damn it, man. That was so bad. It was really bad to watch, Jeff.
Yeah, it's been bad to watch, and I agree with you. The last, 10 weeks, 9 weeks that we've been able to witness this team, it's been a lot of disappointment offensively. Listen, the last 2 games, Dan Campbell's taken over. I'm not going to give him credit for deciding to run the ball against Pittsburgh, giving DeAndre Swift 30-plus carries. You know what? You did what you had to do. It worked out. DeAndre Swift's been your best playmaker by far, and you got the ball to him. So I give you credit for that. But Dan Campbell doesn't look like I hate saying this, but it's not that I don't want to say doesn't know what he's doing, but he's doing a poor job at it, or doesn't look like he's qualified to at least run this offense. We know what Dan Campbell is. He's the obviously his strong suit is being a leader of men. He's keep everyone under at the same level, even keel. And you saw against the Browns, very conservative, especially late in the game. You go for it. You don't go for it on 4th and 1, or you give it to your fullback on 3rd and 1, and then the 4th and or the 3rd and long, the 4th and long, you decide to run the ball. Like it's inexcusable. But at the same time, what did you expect? I mean, honestly, I'm not going to sit up here and I'm going to say I expect Dan Campbell to make chicken soup out of chicken, out of this offense just by him taking over. I still expected the same mediocre product, and if anything, I'm just sitting here still unimpressed, and I'm not going to sit here and say the easy thing to do would be to blame Dan Campbell and say that the play calling is his fault. But you pick and choose. Do you want Anthony Lynn calling the plays, or do you want Dan Campbell? I don't think either way with this offense and what they have. The only thing we can say positive about this football team is how they've been playing defensively. That's it. That's the only thing I can sit up here and give him credit for. Aaron Glenn's gotten everything he can out of these guys on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, I mean, I'm glad they got T.J. Hockenson involved yesterday. That's what we wanted to see. But other than that, DeAndre Swift breaking off for that run, there wasn't a whole lot of positives. And I'm not going to say, I mean, you can blame Dan Campbell, but the fact of the matter is they're not creative. They aren't. If you look around the league, the Houston Texans, the New York Jets. I mean, you can throw the Patriots in there, but I understand the Patriots have a better roster. Look what they're doing with at least a rookie quarterback or Tyrod Taylor, and they're producing results. Texans just won. The Jets have shown things offensively. They've scored 30-plus a couple games ago. Michael LaFleur's doing a fantastic job with Mike White, Joe Flacco, whoever they have behind center. They're having a chance to win games. And now with the Detroit Lions, Tim Boyle, and even Jared Goff, it doesn't look good. And I can't just sit here and say it's Dan Campbell's fault. Offensively, they've just been horrible in general. So hopefully this is something they need to address come the offseason. I mean, whether it's drafting a wide receiver or just making a change, firing Anthony Lynn, bringing in somebody else. I'm not going to sit here and say who you should bring in. It doesn't matter. Look around the league. There's plenty of quarterback coaches. There's plenty of aspiring offensive coordinators that can be, and the Lions should give him the opportunity. Anthony Lynn already fired. We know his track record, and even with Dan Campbell, he's not a play caller. He's never been. That's not his strong suit. So get a guy whose his strong suit is play calling and at least can produce results. That's all I want. That's honestly all I want.
While we're talking offense, Jeff, I got to ask you. Left guard Jonah Jackson hit with unsportsmanlike conduct yesterday in Browns territory for a your mom joke. I mean, is this too soft? Since when can you just not insult someone's mom on the field? Has this always been a rule?
I know Dan Campbell. They asked Dan Campbell about it, and he was just, I don't know if he even knew. Like, he wasn't going to defend it. He was like, he made fun of his mom. Listen, Jonah Jackson, that he knows better than that, but at the same time, it's the matter of the game, I guess. It's the emotions. He says something about someone's mother and gives him a penalty in between quarters, which was weird. Gave him a penalty in between quarters, but I mean, this is just that's a typical Detroit Lions fashion. Something happens like that where you talk about someone's mother, you get a penalty, and there's plenty of other penalties that were horribly mistimed. But the mother penalty. I mean, what are we doing, Jonah? I mean, what are we doing, honestly? Like, what's the point? What are you getting out of that? You're going to insult Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, whoever it was,
Clowney, coming
after his mother. I mean, that man would kill you. Jadeveon Clowney is a scary human being. So I don't know. It makes no sense. It really doesn't.
just a lot of silly decisions, obviously, made by the Detroit Lions. But this means we got to go to break for the last time before we wrap up today's Morning Woodward show. You guys, up next, we do have mailbag. So make sure you are flooding our chat with questions about the Lions, Michigan State, Michigan, whatever you want to see us answer, shoot. Even the Pistons, they had some interesting things go down. There's been some chirping in the chat. So if you're one of the ones that have been a LeBron defender, I want to see your questions for these guys in the chat. If you've got Red Wings questions, hurl them all at us. We will see you guys right after the break.
It's Adam, Jeff, and Kennedy. Mornings on the Woodward Sports Network.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy Monday to hang out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. It is time for our mailbag segment that we are starting to do at the end of every single Morning Woodward show. So, you guys, first question, Jeff, I'll start with you. Is it time for the Wings to part with Coach Blashill?
I think it's too early really to decide that. I mean, me and Adam talk about it all the time. Is Blashill going to be the coach that takes you to the promised land? Probably not. I mean, there's going to be a time where you hire in that coach, that guy to bring in and at least elevate this Wings team to a whole nother level. But as of right now, to answer your question, Tammy, I think it's too early to really fire Blashill. Maybe at the end of the year, Yzerman really looks and reflects on the season and maybe makes a decision. But I wouldn't sit up here and say anything necessarily is indicated we need to fire Jeff Blashill. But I agree with you. If you're indicating that you're not proud of the job he's doing, I'm on board. I agree with you, Tammy. But I see Easy asking about my Social Security number. What do you think this dress makes me look fat? Easy? No, it doesn't. I think it looks fantastic.
Oh, I told him it did.
And listen, do you think... I like this question. Is it... Wait, what's this one? How the hell are you going to throw a flag for saying something other than a slur or swearing? I agree with you, Juice. I don't know. And you know what? Jonah Jackson... I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of mom jokes all over... I mean, there's more than... Jonah Jackson's not the only guy, especially yesterday, that made a yo mama joke. There's too much trash talking that goes on in football, man. You're gonna criticize Jonah Jackson. I mean, listen, should he have said it? No. But the fact of the matter is he's not the only one.
Well, and if they think the trash talk that happens on the football field is bad, I mean, just come on down to any local ice rink. I mean, it gets pretty bad. So I don't know why the NFL is being so soft about the your mom thing, but whatever. I digress. Vinny says, those announcers for the Pistons were garbage, calling Stewart crazy. I would be just as mad if I got punched in it intentionally. Yes, I still stand by the fact that it was intentional.
And I don't think, I'm going to say this too to add to that situation, I don't think Isaiah Stewart necessarily should be suspended. I mean, he will be probably a game or two, but at the end of the day, the only thing you can fault Isaiah Stewart for is not leaving the court in a timely manner. His reaction, I mean, the guy was bleeding on his face from his lips and his eye. So rightfully so, he was ticked off. He was pissed off. But at the same time, the only thing I'd really, I mean, you can kind of fault him for is not leaving in a timely manner, which the NBA is very strict on that, obviously, since the Mauls at the Palace stuff. But sit up here and say he should be suspended for 5 games. I mean, this isn't, what is this, 2005 when people are punching each other? Like, this is 2021. Isaiah Stewart, get him a fine in a game. He'll be fine. Move on. All right.
Jeff, I want to get into this Grant trade rumors stuff. Moron says, are the Grant trade rumors flying lately real? I personally don't want to see JG go, but I've been seeing more and more lately. He seems to want to be in Detroit and had a bright spot in the last year.
I mean, Jerami Grant's going to be a piece. I mean, a piece for the Detroit Pistons to at least acquire somebody. If you're going to acquire somebody, it's going to be Jerami Grant, maybe a first rounder, other assets to really get a star. I mean, he's your piece. Jerami Grant, you signed him. He's been a great player for you. I mean, do I want to sit up here and say trade the man for wanting to be in Detroit? I don't know, but that's a conversation you have with Jerami. And if you can find the right package for him, and you can bring in another guy, a young guy who can grow with this team, Marvin Bagley, for example. I don't know if Jerami Grant for Marvin Bagley is the right deal, but anybody out there, I'm sure you can find somebody for Jerami Grant. But I like Jerami Grant as of right now, but I see what you're saying. He's probably a third option on a good team, and we're paying him to be a second, maybe first option. So get rid of him. I agree with you. He will get a fine but shouldn't be suspended. I agree with you, Tammy. Just get him a fine. I mean, you saw what they're doing now with the NBA especially. I mean, he didn't throw no punches. I don't think he even threw a single. He got in LeBron's face. I saw that, but I didn't see no punches thrown. So, yeah, I mean, he ain't going to get suspended, I don't think, for at least a long time.
You know what I liked was Cade was the first one to try and stop that man from killing LeBron James.
Yeah, Cade was probably a big reason why Isaiah Stewart didn't leap onto all the Lakers, honestly. And he was blocking, especially towards the end when Isaiah was walking into the locker room, and he was like, I'm going to keep walking, and started running towards DeAndre Jordan like he wanted to rip his head off. Cade was a big reason why he didn't, and he pushed him back. So that's your boy, man. Boys take care of each other's boys, and he made sure his boy didn't get damn well suspended. If he would have got his hands on DeAndre Jordan, that man would have been out 25 games.
Adam, you have any more thoughts on the fight last night?
What the hell's going on in the chat?
That we're doing our mailbag.
What are you doing? What do you think? I'm blind? What email are you getting?
Oh, no.
What's going on?
Nothing's happening.
All right, I got to scroll through. I'm sorry. What the hell's going on?
Just, can you talk basketball with us?
No,
Jeez Louise.
okay.
Give me your thoughts on Jerami Grant right now.
Well, I tweeted it over the weekend. I want to say Friday night. I tweeted it. That the Pistons needed to trade Jerami Grant. He's too selfish, and he thinks he's a number one. He's not. It's Cade's team. Cade is the closer. That's surefire, no doubts about it. Cade is the number one. Sadiq Bey will be the number two, and Jerami Grant can F off, and if he wants to be anything but that, he can leave. I'm not going to entertain Jerami Grant on the roster. I'm just not at all.
And I like the point Moron made. The rumors as of lately have not been good first options. Simmons and Bagley don't see much. Did you hear that? The 76ers, they were not interested in Jerami Grant, but they were interested in Cade Cunningham for Ben Simmons. What are they smoking out in Philadelphia?
They're trying to get the best deal. I mean, I don't blame them.
But the guy who we just took number one
overall pick for number one. I mean, I get what they're doing. But
like Ben Simmons, we know what he is.
They don't want to trade Ben Simmons for garbage. They don't want to lose the trade. I don't blame them for being. What are you doing, Kennedy?
Yes, Mike G. I am getting love letters from Darius Slay. Yeah. Oh no, I got a really good question sent to my email, but it's kind of long, and I want you to read it. So, Wesley, can you put it up really fast? Your reaction to this, Adam, please.
Where'd you get this? Huh?
Someone please tell me that you screenshotted that.
All right, we'll see. All right. God damn it. All right, let me explain myself. First of all, that was prime COVID, okay? I had grown out my hair completely. I looked like a caveman. I have an even better picture, but I'm not going to send it. I'm not going to... What are we doing, guys? I hate you guys so much.
You got the Matt Patricia beard going on.
It is... Here, I'll show you. I'll send you a better one. You guys are awful. You guys are horrible humans.
I'm actually wheezing.
You guys are awful. I'm going to send you one better, Kennedy. Give me 1 second.
Really?
Yeah,
we'll just send it straight to Wesley.
We should have a segment called just previewing Adam's beards, like different different
you guys
points
are
going
to freak out when you see this.
Okay, you know what I want to do? Have you guys ever seen people do like tier lists on YouTube?
Who?
They have like S+, A, B, C, and they rank things. I think we should do a giant like tier list of something one of these days.
We should.
I can't believe you guys are awful. This guy's
Adam, I give you credit for showing those pictures on.
I'm not.
Thank you, Wasim.
I'm not. I don't want to show them. It's not my choice.
You sent the picture to Alex, didn't you?
No, Kennedy did.
Yeah, that was me.
Kennedy sent that
first
picture.
one. Oh, I got you.
Where am I gonna find this picture? Jesus Christ.
How many photos do you have, Adam? Like 8 billion?
Basically, yeah. That's kind of where we're going with this.
Yeah, Mike G. Oh, it is Mike G already, please put him up. Please put it up.
I hate you, Mike.
Mike G already has Adam's beautiful face.
Mike's too quick, man.
He's too quick.
Look at
It's so good. So good.
No, Mike, that. All right.
All
You guys are
right.
horrible human
Are you
beings.
sending it to Wesley or no?
I'm looking for it.
We got
would be
2 minutes.
This would be a great closer. Just end the show. Is this fantastic photo we're about to witness?
Well, I can't find it, so you guys are on a
Oh,
wait,
all right.
we gotta-
We'll open the show with it tomorrow.
Yeah, if I can even find it. I mean, it's pretty bad though. I got my first haircut after COVID. Long story short, and I took a picture of myself before and after, and it was ridiculous. Like, you guys think my beard is long now and my hair is long?
You look like Gandhi.
My hair was longer than Trevor Lawrence's.
Oh, you?
And my beard put Osama bin Laden's beard to shame. That's basically where I'm going with this. Pretty bad.
Wasim says, Kennedy, every Monday, end of the show, I'll send an embarrassing pic of Adam.
I hate you
Let's
guys.
go. This is the best day of my life. Wasim, shout out.
All right.
I
Well,
wish, sorry, all the radio people that you can't see this. Make sure you go
yeah,
rewatch
go back
our
to
live
YouTube
stream.
or Twitter and
Go to the end
rewatch
of the
the live
show.
stream. Go back to the end of the show, about an hour 50, and you'll see
Maybe it'll be our
embarrassing
clip of the
pictures
day.
myself.
Just kidding.
Get us out of here, Kennedy.
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the Morning Woodward Show. It's been a lot of fun. Coming up next, we've got Big D Energy. They'll be squad deep with D-Mac. Who else is here today, Fish? Is Neil in?
No Neo to Stick and maybe Terry Foster.
Oh, let's go. Awesome show coming up next. Make sure you guys stick around. We will see you right back here tomorrow.